This college basketball picks and ACC, CUSA, WAC and Big 12 Conference Tournament edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Rhythm, the leader in data-driven picks and props. Rhythm is giving away a $250 future and throwing a March Madness party. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/party for all the details. Plus, SGPN is giving away $2,000 in our free March Madness bracket competition. Sign up today at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bracket.
This is Nate Collins. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Cox. He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with our partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog. Well, it feels like we're in it now. Feels like we're all the way in it.
Oh yes.
No long. I mean, you've managed a week of tournaments intertwined with regular games. Very confusing to keep up with everything. A lot of people asking me who I like. I accidentally gave out a game in the past. Very embarrassing stuff.
Oh wait, I missed this. Who did you give out that already happened?
I was talking to one of the VSiN producers.
Okay.
And it was one of those like, what do you like? And I gave out a game in the past.
Now, what was it? A winner?
It was a winner. That's why it was top of mind, but it wasn't a big deal. We moved past it.
Not as good a last episode for the show, but did hit on the Moneyline dog for Oklahoma. That was a nice little cash there all over Indiana.
Fucking Mike Woodson, baby.
I still don't.
This is becoming a funny story. I hope they win the Big Ten champ. Big Ten tournament.
I don't know what's happening with that team. Colby, of course, was all over the Bill Self and his love letters that came home for Colby.
Yes.
We are going to talk to Colby here in just a second. And also, shout out to Big Cat, a listener who goes by the name of Big Cat, a retired police officer who's now making his way out to Vegas. Hung out with him and his wife at the Circa. He was started listening this year, was all in. Shout out to Big Cat.
This would be a great testimonial for like a they actually hung out with us for a while.
Yeah. No,
I feel like I've gotten the you guys are probably not going to actually hang for that long. No, we don't have anything else to do.
No,
it's just gambling and having a cocktail or two.
Yeah. And appreciate everyone coming up. Like, feel free, come up and shoot the shit. Honestly, we'll just talk about gambling like we're doing on the show. It's
watch me play the NFL slot.
Yeah, they did get to see Kramer, who had dabbled with announcing his retirement. He's the Brett Favre of NFL slot machines.
I was mocked while playing the NFL slot that I had already claimed I had retired from the NFL slot while playing with their favorite team.
Yes, Big Cat, big Ravens fan. He's from the Baltimore area. Sounds like he's moving out to Vegas. So shout out to you, Big Cat. And if you want to come hang out with us, obviously sportsgamblingpodcast.com/party.
Yes.
That March 19th party already got a nice guest list going. And of course, you got the chance for the future as well. Kramer,
and a handshake.
Yeah, and a handshake from Kramer.
Me.
Let's couple quick NFL things, and then we'll bring Colby on to talk all things college hoops. We got breaking news. Steelers acquired DK Metcalf. So apparently his demand of wanting a warm weather city, not really just kind of bullshit, I guess.
As much as I'd love to crush DK Metcalf, apparently that was a false report.
Yeah.
Whatever. My take on DK is simply, we broke this down a little bit on the VSiN show, but the second round pick for DK Metcalf, I don't have a massive problem with making him the second highest paid receiver. I guess in the end, it probably doesn't matter, but
and I think
he's over. He's now he's the same guy as Pickens. They can run down the field really well.
Yeah.
And it's unclear if they bring much else to the table.
I think he's slightly better than Pickens, but to your point,
interesting. Who do you
think
like better in a contested catch situation?
Oh, well, I mean, they're both, to your point, they are very similar. Pickens gets it done with like this weird, like body ability. He's great in contested catches like DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf obviously just out muscles guys.
Physical freak.
Yeah. I think they're both pretty good, but to your point, like neither are probably a true number one.
Or this is a sign Pickens is about to get shipped out of town.
Who knows? But also
Tomlin strikes again.
Also, the Steelers are good at drafting receivers. I don't know if I would necessarily punt a second round pick, but I think a lot of teams came in. They're like, oh, we got all this cap space. New England Patriots. Oh, we got all this cap space. But now the cap's going up, and it's like, well, you can't even spend it. Like, yeah, they signed Landry from the Titans, but like, what? You're not getting T Higgins. You're not. Maybe you can get Cooper Kupp, but like, what are you using all that cap space for?
I think what you do is you just structure the deals that you're signing this year, knowing that you're not necessarily like, maybe you think you're going to be competitive, but your roster still isn't quite all the way there. So what you do is these deals, like you're saying, they're more front loaded almost to keep the back end of your salary cap situation clean, so that when you are ready to fully go all in. I also think this is a weird year for free agents.
Yeah.
I think the splash stuff in some ways has already happened. The top of the market guys, Stafford, Garrett, DK Metcalf. It's
and I think these guys are learning.
T Higgins, I guess we're waiting. Jamar Chase, we're waiting on a contract.
Throw out the trade request. At the worst case, it seems like you end up with a better deal. Stafford stayed where he was, got a better deal. Myles Garrett, oh, he's going to sit out games. Oh wait, they just ended up paying him.
The best deal. And the Cowboys are waiting. Now that got more expensive.
Yeah, all of a sudden he doesn't care about going to a contender. And then Geno Smith ended up on the Raiders. Ryan, you got to be a little concerned that this is all making it more and more. Although Antonio Brown, a CTE ESPN, he's saying that Rodgers is going to the Steelers, so maybe you dodged a bullet there. But it does seem like Rodgers to the Giants is picking up steam. And one more other thought: I think this is great news for Shedeur Sanders by the fact that the Browns.
This is interesting.
Don't you? To me, I read it as great news for Shedeur Sanders because they just used a shit ton of money on Myles Garrett. They're already paying Deshaun Watson a ton of money.
Oh, I see. So you think from the perspective that this makes it more likely that they go with a quarterback?
Yeah.
Do you think that's at number 2?
Well, but that's the other thing. Like they still could trade up and get Cam Ward, which would be bad for Shedeur. But the fact that I think the likelihood of the Browns drafting a rookie quarterback has increased with this deal, which is good for Shedeur. It's still he might still not end up there, but I think it's good for him.
They posted that picture, Sean. Unless the Browns organization is lying to us, they've been saying all along they're going to get their guy, one of their guys. They like both guys.
And shout out to Pepperdine. The Waves cash a +800 money line. Mac was on that, so shout out to him.
To answer your question, the slice of the pie that is Aaron Rodgers goes to the Giants
got bigger.
It's getting much bigger. Getting much bigger.
It's getting much bigger. All right, let's.
I think there's now 2 scenarios that are positive outcomes from or at least produce enough unknown in the outcome distribution to make me intrigued. Aaron Rodgers and/or Cam Ward / Jameis Winston. Yeah. Anything else will be very irritating.
One last news item. Now this is insane, but apparently Odell Beckham and Drewski. Ryan, I know you're a big Drewski guy. Love his.
We have ridden on a private jet with Drewski before.
No, it was Southwest.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it wasn't even the JSX. It was Southwest. We were on a Southwest flight for Drewski.
Different flight.
Apparently,
we landed. We never left an island.
These flight logs have been released. We are ready. And now we're joking because we're alluding to the Epstein flight logs because unfortunately for Drewski and Odell Beckham Jr. Ryan, they have both been added to the lawsuit of this woman who is suing Diddy as part of all these allegations. Drewski and Odell Beckham Jr. have been added. So insane.
Not good.
Not at the very least, not good for those gentlemen.
I wouldn't go too deep into the lawsuits with Diddy. It's just
Dark times.
Yeah, it's not, and it's now to know it wasn't just the kicking. I mean, Jesus Christ, the kicking net might show up in this lawsuit.
Joining us on the line, former Diddy fan. Had to. I know.
Before he was into the parties.
Well,
right?
yeah. From the college experience, Colby Dant, aka Pick Dundee. Colby, what the hell's going on with Colby's audio now?
I don't know.
Are you in a wind tunnel, Colby? What's
Colby's
happening?
everything all right?
It sounds fine to me. What's going on with you guys?
He's a hair loud, but
Yeah, I don't know.
What do you hear right now? I don't hear anything.
You're good. We're good. We're dialed.
we're locked in. I was gonna make a joke about how you're a massive Diddy fan of his music, and then had to throw away all his CDs, his vinyl. Colby was such a Diddy fan. He had some Diddy on vinyl back in the day. Colby, what's happening? Happy. What 7 days from now you will be in this very studio breaking down Selection Sunday, obviously for our show, the college experience. Well, brackets to fill out. The countdown is on.
Yeah. I mean, it already started for me, man, with this all these conference tournaments. Shout out to the Sun Belt for that stupid ass bracket, because guess what? Your top 2 seeds, they're not playing in the championship. Glad to see you did that.
Yeah, they go out of their way to make a barbecue tong bracket, and that ends up hurting you. Well, there is that whole rest versus rust thing that somehow says.
We
sometimes,
talked about this.
Yeah.
We said maybe it might maybe the idea of giving your best team 4 nights off isn't the best idea. I mean, it's literally the formula you would draw if you're the David. You would love to catch a team when you're on a nice 4-game heater, even if you're a little tired, because you're feeling it. It's a confidence game.
And going back to Friday night, I was on Pepperdine, and looked very rough there in the first half, and then they closed out so strong, and I was like, damn, this Pepperdine team, this is a pretty good. This is some nice momentum for them. I didn't think it would be. It would continue this strong, but again, this is what's awesome about March Madness. A team like Pepperdine that's playing well together. Also BYU, man, I know they didn't. We picked it at 14. I bet it at 12. Of course, these Utah motherfuckers backdoored it with
Utes. Hey, Utes.
I got it at 12. And they were up 18. Utah did some bullshit at the end. They ended up losing by 11. Utah did, but BYU, man, they continue to look so good. Like I'm worried they're going to win their conference tournament almost, and then screw up their mojo for the real tournament. But I mean, Colby, what do you make of BYU? They look legit.
Yeah, I mean I mean, I don't want to. Any Holy War win's a gigantic win, but I did like them in that spot with all the change that's happening in Salt Lake City. But they do look good. I don't think you want them to win. If you're a BYU fan, you don't want to win the Big 12 championship in Kansas City, in my opinion. That's an interesting topic there, though. It's like I believe who's the last team to just go through it all, right? Did UConn do it last year? Did UConn win the? They might have.
I think they won their conference tournament.
It was like an overtime game against Marquette, right?
And then they not only did they win, but they covered. I think they covered every win in the tournament as well. Like they were on not only just a heater in general, but just ATS as well. It was insane.
Yeah, so they won their conference tournament last year. The year before they lost to Marquette and before going on and winning the championship. I think it applies. I think there's certain types of teams that it doesn't necessarily apply to, like last year's UConn team, an insanely good team that Sean, they went on to cover by some insane margin.
Yeah, no, the cover margin, the ATS record, it was all just legendary.
So perhaps, they're not a fair data point to look at because they were just better than everyone.
Yeah.
I think I think between what's happening in football and what is inevitably going to happen here with basketball, I do think conference tournaments will never die in basketball because the small schools need them, but they are doing things at all levels to make, to devalue the conference tournament championship, especially if we expand a little bit. Major conference tournaments, especially Sean, become very interesting You know, we heard Patino say on an open mic that losing was a positive.
Yeah.
For that Louisville team, and so yeah, I don't know. Do they even play the tournaments in the future in the big conferences?
Yeah, because you want to be able to get the auto bid in for, but
well,
yeah. How about St. John's, by the way?
Bids.
Yeah,
St. John's didn't. They rested 2 players, or they rested a player,
matter.
and then they still got it done.
I knew when we were breaking it down. I'm like, this is a little cute. And then how about? Well, you guys forgot to congratulate me about about Alabama. Should have parlayed them with Oklahoma, and then UNC. How does UNC not cover that number? That was very annoying.
Yeah. Come on.
I mean, they had they had the lead with what's 8 minutes left.
If you're a North Carolina fan right now, I mean,
same with UNLV.
What are you
UNLV
doing?
Should have covered.
You got your basketball. You got your basketball coach locked up for a long time, and he sucks. Yep. And you got Bill Belichick there. You just convert to being a football fan, right? You put the basketball team on the back burner.
I think that's exciting. You've got your championships to lean back on in basketball. Football, the amount of talent that comes out your state, you should be a top 5 team.
Could this
you have
be
Southern Virginia right there? You have. I've been saying this for 30 fucking years. Long before we had a podcast, it was like the amount of talent that they're surrounded by. They should be way better. And the fact they have the Nike endorsing with the Jordan brand. It makes no sense to me why they're not Oregon.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, couldn't this be the end though? The beginning of the end? Weren't you making the case that all the big shoe company schools are the ones that are going to be hurt the most with NIL?
Well, not when you have Michael Jordan though, because from what I understand, and I don't know that this has been confirmed, but I thought he was a big part of that $25 million donation to football or whatever, or commitment to football.
You gotta be careful. Jordan's getting old. I don't know if you saw that golf video of him.
I was gonna pull that up.
Falling back into the river. There. Have you seen this, Colby? I know you're a big golf guy. What? You missed this?
Sorry, I've heard about it. I was out. I got in a quick 18 for the show.
It was a shotgun start, a scramble. He just finished up.
Pedro down in the clubhouse was showing all the boys.
Colby said
I don't like to bring my cell phone out while I'm hitting.
Well, that's why you have Pedro. He goes and gets it for you.
The guy that shines Colby's shoes at the clubhouse turned him on to said you gotta check this out, boss.
And also caddies. Colby goes to the kind of establishment where you have a human caddy.
Yeah, well, most caddies are human, right?
Sometimes it can, you can call a card you get a caddy, but yeah, I see your point.
Yeah, they're not.
I see your point.
They're either a golf cart or a human caddy.
All right, so yeah. Anyway, yeah, UNC hopefully maybe the beginning of the end. Duke has won the war.
Listen to that music. This means it's officially March. We're losing our minds. We're giving away $2,000 in our free March Madness bracket competition. Very easy. Just head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bracket. Give us your email, and when the brackets go live, you'll get a link to sign up. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bracket. Get in over there. Also, promo code Madness between now and when the tournament starts. 20% off everything. Get the DGens hats, the TCE, the first half under, the SGP hoodies. So much great stuff. So make sure you get that while it's available. And of course, Edge Boost. If you're going to be getting down on a ton of action March Madness, why would you not want to rack up free cash back rewards? Love my Edge Boost Visa debit card. And again, it's free. Sign up, helps us out, and you can get up to $750 cash back each month. FDIC insured, and it's completely free. No credit checks. EdgeBoost.bet. Promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by MyBookie.ag. Head over to MyBookie.ag. Use the promo code SGPN. Props. You can get down on all the sports. Again, we are talking conference tournaments as well.
Already lost the bet on the NFL.
Oh, really? What'd you lose?
Agency.
Right? Oh, that Landry would end up at the Giants.
Yeah,
They do have MyBookie has a bunch of great prices for these conference tournaments. Very competitive odds, and of course, available in a ton of locations. Use that promo code SGPN. Get you 100% deposit match up to $1,000. MyBookie.ag promo code SGPN.
All right. So Colby was very irritable when we first got on before the show because unfortunately he wasn't able to finish the card.
Really?
We were trying to go live a little earlier. He's very irritated. And Sean, I don't know if you see this. I gave Colby, as you know, I create games for everyone to talk about, and then Colby just puts the teams in. And I gave him a total of 10 games, Sean.
Okay.
And he said, "You know what? I only want to do 8."
Really?
Like, what, Colby? The people want games. They want picks. He said, "No, 8's enough. That's fine." So I said, "Don't worry. I'll make sure we have lots of conference tournaments to talk about." But Colby's clearly a little salty about something. Unclear what.
Well, you guys want to go? I'm trying to watch this Northern Arizona Montana game right now. I mean, you just had the Monmouth game in the final 10 seconds, and you guys are hot potatoing me questions right now. Where I got work to do, guys. All right.
Yeah. Fuck off.
Sorry to bother you at work, Colby.
How's the F line been going? Calls go.
F line's back. 1-800-PICK-DUNDEE. Give that thing a call.
I can't. What is the real 1-800-PICK-DUNDEE? Have you ever tried to call the number?
Well, it's like 9 numbers. So.
Oh well, yeah, you don't need them all. I'm just saying, if you dial that number, what happens? Because it would be funny. People start calling to just have conversations about the triple option, about times before the 3-point line.
Maybe what we'll do for the rhythm party, Ryan, we'll turn back the March Madness line and we'll just put it on speaker and you can call in. Or maybe just for the March Madness out in Vegas, we'll turn it back on for Colby's cell phone. Wow. You're out in Vegas. You don't have any family obligations. Maybe you just want to talk to some random listeners. It was funny when we had it going for FCS football and Colby picking up. He's like, hey, what's up, man? Yeah, no, I do like Southern Illinois this week. Like it was great.
What's up,
Colby? No, go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say, the one complaint I have about these games, because we're gonna add more games once these games go final. But
maybe
I don't have any day games tomorrow, so flag on the play. Flag on the fucking play.
How do we not have day games?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. We got to figure this out.
I did notice it seems like for whatever reason they skipped Monday as a day that no conference tournaments start on Monday. So yeah, I don't know. Shame on the people in charge, the people that Colby liked to yell at. All right, we'll talk a couple games and then a shitload of conference tournament games for tourney starting on the 11th, so Tuesday. Because my God, they really should coordinate this with everyone. Because why they have to start half the tournaments on Tuesday, Wednesday this week? Spread it out a little bit. Yeah, nothing starting on Monday. Colby's onto something here. Towson, Maryland. We're talking Blue Hens taking on the. Oh man, what I should have prepared myself better. Towson laying 5.5. 3 p.m. This is kind of day. 3 p.m. on the West Coast. Colby.
And that's my bad. That's Washington D.C. This is
right. Yeah.
This
Colby,
is
is that your chair creaking? Are you calling this from a haunted house? What is going on over there? Come on.
What do you mean?
We're doing. Yeah. Wait, Kramer, just be quiet. Listen to Colby's chair. Colby, company's doing all right. We can just, if you want to invoice for a can of WD-40, that is approved. All right.
For a second,
look, it's old wood, Sean. All right,
not a whole chair, but see, Colby's already. See, back in my day, chairs are made of all wood. Look, not your bullshit aluminum imported from China. I like
things with soul and substance, Sean. All right, I'm sorry. You prefer the other side of this, but
he's old money now. He got it right from his plantation. I bet.
You want your chair to have a soul? That is some. I mean, he's hooked on the South, Sean.
Oh yeah.
All right, so we're talking, like you said, this is in DC. We're talking the Coastal now, CAA tourney, and the Towson Tigers are laying 5.5. What are we doing, Colby?
Well, I mean, Delaware's not supposed. I'm not supposed to be here. Delaware's not supposed to be here. I mean, look at this. Look what they've done here. They've rattled off 3 straight wins. including beating Bill and Mary. Those, I mean, I had money on Bill and Mary, so I mean, you know, bunch of private school pussies. So I think you go back to Towson, and if I may, that's the play. That's the play here. I need some glasses. I need some fucking like reading glasses.
Yeah, he's just he's got like a mint julep, Kramer, just in his rocking chair, talking about the way things used to be.
Bring me my pipe cleaner.
He's got like a potbelly stove going.
Got a nice coon skin
wood
hat.
burning furnace. This is interesting because Towson has been a fun, scrappy team. Great offensive rebounding. Horrible at the free throw. Delaware 77% from the line. This one's tough because you could say like, "Hey, Delaware doesn't deserve to be here," but who is Towson to be laying 5.5 points? I'm gonna go with the Blue Hens here.
Hey, who they are is the 1 seed, and they have the biggest crowd out of any of the fucking teams in this. So yeah, I mean that 5.5 number is a little wacky, but I like laying it.
I get it. And Benedict Dantold pointing out Towson busting kids to DC was a big presence today. Yeah, I get it. I get it. You're not taking Delaware, Kramer.
No. I like the home. I mean, well, are you surprised? First of all,
you do like a good favorite. All right, I'll take Towson, but I'm a little scared about this Blue Hens team. They're feisty.
So what round is this, Colby?
The winner will go to the championship. So the semifinals? Yeah.
Who's the other semifinal game? Are we talking about it later?
Well, yeah, actually, it just Charleston just beat Monmouth in overtime.
Oh, excellent.
So we will be talking about that in a little bit. Yeah.
Let's talk Corpus Christi, 3:30 p.m. here on the West Coast in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Corpus Christi taking on Northwestern State. State projected by Pick Dundee. I guess we don't have a number yet on this one. Maybe the chat has a number for us. Northwestern State projected to be laying 4.5. Is that correct, Colby?
Correct. I couldn't find a number out there in the wild. Can you double check that? But
I'll double check. I'm not seeing one though.
So
what are we doing here? Break it down.
Well, I mean, both these teams, Corpus Christi finished 4th in the Southland. Northwestern State finished 6th. This is in Lake Charles, Louisiana. So I do think that's a little bit of a home edge for Northwestern State, being that they're a Louisiana school. Last time they played, Corpus Christi won by 9. I like this Northwestern State team. They've been battle tested. This is a team that, to me, they're never the top team to win that conference. I feel like not in a while, but they're one of the teams you can trust year in, year out, I would say, within that conference. So they shoot the free throw, Sean, much better than Corpus Christi. 358th, one of the worst free throw shooting teams in the nation, Sean.
Yeah.
So I'll make your pick for you.
Yeah. Well, come on. Do you really feel comfortable taking Texas A&M Corpus Christi when they can't? 62% for the line is just comically bad. And there's some stuff to like about the Northwestern defense, including their 2-point percentage defense is pretty good. So I think they can slow down Texas A&M at least enough, make this a game. I'll eat the chalk here. Give me Northwest State.
Let's see how much Colby knows ball.
Okay.
362nd in the country in free throw. Who were the two teams worse?
One of them is another Southland team, I believe.
Well, no, they're actually a notch ahead. They're at 361, and you're talking about Stephen F. Austin.
Yeah.
It's no. The two teams beneath are not in conference. One is from the SoCon.
Oh,
and one is from the SWAC.
Could it be the Citadel?
The Citadel is one. Colby knows ball, and one from the SWAC. God damn, this is impressive.
I mean, I just believe it's got to be Valley State.
Pine Bluff.
Okay.
Close.
Okay.
Hopefully people continue to subscribe to your podcast without the fact that you didn't know
Citadel
that's a little
was pretty good.
50-50. I mean, come on. All right. What are we did I pick this one yet? No, I did not. Yeah,
See, Colby, he was about to move on without even giving any sense to what his pick was.
I got a lot of picks here, or I got a lot of tabs open here because I did go back and I was evaluating who you guys had in the Southland, and seeing it influence the pick. It did not. I'm with you. Lay the chalk here. Corpus Christi, hot ass. Which, by the way, I was reminded some of these conferences have bad teams in them. Because you remember the bad team, how bad the 16 seeds look generally when they play real basketball, and then you realize that those teams are often 1 seeds, and we're looking at like 9 seeds in those conferences. There was some rec league shit going on in front of my eyes. Arkansas State, this is a real number, Colby, laying 2.5 against Troy in Pensacola, 4 p.m. on the West Coast. What are we doing here in the Sun Belt?
Well, this is what I was alluding to at the top of the show. We're glad to see we can get the 3 and 4 seeds in the championship game. But
they got a warm up game before the big game. It's just so obvious. They're so dumb. Just do a normal tournament and see what happens. You're definitely creating more. I wonder when we let's look back after 5 years. Will we have less variance with the barbecue tong tournament?
Well, and here's what my counter would be. It's not like these are football games, so like maybe give them 1 bye, but like if they are this dominant team and you hope that they win a couple 1 maybe 2 games in the tournament, don't you want them like getting warmed up, beating what should be inferior competition, getting hot, feeling the rhythm, and then rolling into the tournament? Because I feel like taking a break after the regular season for 1, maybe 2 games, then a lot of these smaller conferences also play their tournament games earlier. So you have 2 kind of big breaks surrounded on by these games where you're big favorites.
That's the biggest change I would make, is just put my conference tournament earlier.
Yeah,
I wouldn't play it so late. But I think the only example we have of a conference that's been using this for a while is the WCC and like Gonzaga, basically. And they often did win the regular season, and so in theory, who knows if it helped them because they were just so much better in many years. But there's only 1 year in the past 15 where the winner of the WCC regular season didn't also win the conference tournament.
But I would say though, this is where the conferences are making a mistake. You look at the teams that made those runs in March. You tend to like NC State went to the Final Four. NC State, first off, under a lot of conference tournament brackets these days, like if they were doing the ACC with 17 teams last year, NC State wouldn't have even made the tournament.
Yeah, I know.
Right. So then I like they were able to ride that momentum. You look back at that VCU team or George Mason team that went to the Final Four. These are teams that didn't win their conference in the regular season. So you would not be protecting your best teams. You know what I mean? Like those teams didn't win. They wouldn't have been the 1 or 2 seed in some situations. So they wouldn't have been they would have had to play in and get multiple games off. So who knows if they would have even gotten that hot.
I think the theory is probably sound. It's just it's not going to always produce the best team to represent your conference. You think it is, but to Colby's point, they might not be the best team right now.
Basketball, especially, is such a rhythm sport and such a momentum sport.
I agree.
Troy, Arkansas State, Colby. I mean, for me, my first look is to, I don't know. I mean, they both play pretty good defense, especially Arkansas State. What are you doing here, Colby?
Yeah, both these games have been fire. They played twice in the regular season. I think the first matchup, Arkansas State won at Troy by 6, and then Troy returned the favor and won by 1 at Arkansas State. But both the teams to me had been, that's the thing. Another thing is you have an unbalanced conference schedule, because in my mind, in a way, these were the best 2 teams in the conference throughout the regular season. They just had an unbalanced schedule, so they end up with the 3 and 4 seed. I'm gonna take Troy. I think Troy might have a little bit of a home edge, being that Alabama is really close to Pensacola. And the fact that, to me, I just think they've impressed me more throughout the season than Arkansas State. A lot of it has to do with what they did, in big time matchups against decent competition. They beat Toledo. I thought they played for a little bit there, decent against Houston.
And
so
real quick, this is an actual line, right? This isn't projected.
It's a real line. It's a real line.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's I expect a very good game, 1 bucket game. Why not take Troy with the 2.5? I think they both have pretty good defenses. I expect good effort from both. So yeah, I'll take Troy plus 2.5. Kramer, is this a consensus play?
You got to take Troy, but also these are I would say that these are teams that can struggle shooting the ball at times.
Great offensive rebounding teams, though, both of them.
Yeah, they're kind of mirror images of each other in a way to highlight the hand. But yeah, we'll take Troy and we'll move on with our lives. Yeah, if you want to learn a little geography, you should see like Alabama and Florida are very close to each other. Oh wow, just Garth plowing through the camera. Oklahoma. Not an earthquake, guys. Don't worry. Although I think we did have an earthquake earlier today. I was out at a youth sports event. Did not feel it.
I missed it as well.
Yeah, I did not feel it. Oklahoma, but everyone asked me if I felt it. I had said no a lot. Oklahoma taking on Bob Morris as
you said Oklahoma 3 times. It's Oakland.
Sorry, Oakland.
It was great because he kept resetting Oklahoma.
Dude, I was like scrambling, like, what is he talking about? Is there a conference tournament in Oklahoma?
I was thinking about earthquakes. Oklahoma. I'm just kidding. Oakland taking on Bob Morris, as Colby would say, in Indy, -2.5, 4 p.m. on the West Coast. Colby.
So remember the horizon. The first couple games are on campus. Now you go to Indianapolis. This is a neutral site.
Do you have a take on this kind of tournament?
I actually, me and Mac were talking about this on our show. It might be the best conference tournament because you get that home edge where you get to see college basketball at its best, and then you and those great teams in your conference deserve that home edge by being great throughout the regular season. Then your best teams can go to the neutral site. I think they might have figured this thing out as far as the best actual
football should check it out.
Yeah.
Solid format.
Yeah, it's wild.
No.
But as far as this game, look, Robert Morris has been ridiculous this year. They're kind of like, I can't believe how good they are considering they were so bad last year. They've won 8 straight, 9 of 10. I just believe that the horizon never goes chalk. All right. It went chalk last year for the first time in forever. And guess who was the coach of last year's team? It was Oakland and Greg Campy with our boy Jack Golke. I'm riding that train again. Give me Oakland. You give Campy one of the best coaches in college hoops. You give him the whole weekend of prep. He's going to be ready for this one.
That was the takeaway, right? He was seemed like a solid coach.
Yeah, no, I mean,
like the kind of mid-major.
Obviously,
coach.
Golke got hot in that Kentucky game, but we were kind of on them even leading up to the conference tournament. I thought they were, to your point, well coached. It is crazy to go against Robert Morris, they've starting January 12th, they've only lost 1 game, 15-3 in the new year. They've been incredibly hot. But I like the little history. I like the momentum here that you get with Oakland. I'm with you guys. I'll take Oakland,
especially with the break. Like their conference does like a what was it, 3 or 4 day break or something. So giving your
also didn't make sense. That was not.
Yeah, giving your coach Greg Campy, who's got the most wins in Horizon League history, who's also been at Oakland since I got born. All right, so I mean he's been there.
He's a legend.
That's what I'm saying. You're giving him that much time. Yeah, Moneyline play. Oakland. Let's go.
All right. So Robert Morris plus 190, Cleveland State plus 200, Oakland plus 380, Youngstown State plus 450. Are you taking a piece of Oakland to win the conference? Also, Colby.
Why not?
I mean, Cleveland State in my pocket at plus 310.
It's the horizon. Why wouldn't you? I mean, the horizon traditionally is chaos. Yeah, I think it's worth a sprinkle.
Well, because I have the Cleveland State future, so I add an Oakland future, and then I'm gravy either way.
Let's go,
Sean. You want to join us and hop on that Oakland future?
Wait, what's the price on Oakland?
380. I have Cleveland.
So they have
State.
to win this game and then the winner of the next game, right?
Yep.
I mean, yeah. If I'm going to be taking them plus 2.5, why would I not be sprinkling a little plus 380?
And there's a chance they're favored in that next. They might. There's a chance they're favored in the next game, if not a short number with Cleveland State.
Yeah,
So
I'll take it. Let's take a little sprinkle at plus 380.
all right,
let's go.
Let's talk about the Terriers. Wofford had taking on Furman in Asheville, North Carolina. The Paladins casting some spells. Furman -1.5. Colby.
Oh man, this game's great. So the SoCon championship, I mean, pound for pound, like I'll put this up against any tournament there is. And you're seeing it do their thing again here with upsets. I mean, left and right, great games left and right. And what's great about this matchup, guys, is both are rivals within the state of South Carolina. So if there was one game tomorrow that I think you should be watching, it's probably this one. Furman was supposed to be a rebuilding year to a certain extent here, but they just keep a good program there. And Wofford, your boys, Kramer.
I fucked up not taking them. Plus 500 pre-flop, Sean, and Furman was plus 750. Yeah, I know. We fell in love with East Tennessee State. Anyway, sorry, what you were saying, Colby.
Colonel.
Well, Furman won the last matchup by 3, but yeah, I tend to think Furman's the play. The way that they've been playing and the path to me has been much harder. Now, I guess you could look at that 2 different ways and say, well, they've gone through the harder path. Wofford will be more ready. I just think they've had to going through Samford, going through Chattanooga, and let's not forget the last regular season game was against Wofford. So they've basically taken on 3 good teams in a row, won all 3 of them. I think they're the side. I know, but yeah, you could say though, hey, Wofford just lost them in a close game. Maybe they can get in there, but give me Furman. I think they're red hot right now. They're playing great ball. I'm going to lay it.
They did just beat them. That's part of my new technique for these conference tournaments, right?
Furman's a top 100 rated defense though.
Yeah, they beat them at Wofford. I don't.
So that's not a revenge game.
Yeah, but we decided that if you handle your business against,
but they lost at home to Wofford, and then they beat them. Well,
that was back in January.
Okay,
I'm talking about recency. Yeah, I think I'm with Colby.
Yeah, I'll take Furman. I mean, I think this is,
and we're big fans of Terrell.
Yeah, shout out to Terrell Furman on the network. Yeah, they won on the road there. All right. Yeah, I don't feel great fading Wofford, but I think it's the play here.
What don't you feel great about?
Well, they're coming off the OT game against Chattanooga, and Wofford's been pretty good. Yeah, and maybe they have revenge for the fact that Furman beat them on their home court. I can't decide if you know what, I'm gonna just throw revenge out the window for any of the rest of these conference tournaments.
No revenge doesn't matter anymore.
Not to me.
Of course not. It's a conference tournament. How could it? You can't. Come on, Sean. You're a situational handicap.
Well, as Benedict Dantold said, or Wofford avenged the East Tennessee State loss from 2 weeks ago. Now they can avenge Furman's loss. Maybe they have a hit list. They're getting taken out team by team.
Maybe they have their own flight log. Hopefully not. Montana State, Idaho State. We're heading back to Boise for a little starch madness. I had some potatoes today. I've actually had potatoes the last couple of days, Sean. 4:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Well, we're talking starch madness.
Big flex.
I was telling this. I was doing the thing where a couple of the other parents know that I talk about gambling, so they always want to talk about football or gambling. And I dropped the whole, hey, you know what they call the tournament up in Boise? They call it Starch Madness. He's like, well, that's crazy. That is a crazy name. So it might be number 1 to Arch Madness. We were having that debate the other day. Montana State catching 1.5 points here, Colby. Who are you taking?
I'm on the Bengals of Idaho State. You might recall I took a little shot. If you're looking for, on the Big Sky one, I said it's worth a little sprinkle on Idaho State. The Bengals, they've played much better ball this year. And also they're going to have, this is in Boise, Pocatello to Boise. Yeah. That's nothing. All right. They're going to have a little bit of that crowd. Idaho State's a team that, man, they've been so horrible over the years, But this year, 15-14. If they win this game, they're gonna cap off no matter what a winning season. Montana State beat them by 5 last time they played, but look in the great state of Idaho this year. Idaho State is 10-4. 10-4. Let's get it done here.
We still have our Portland State.
Sean,
State,
hold on.
futures.
I'm going to do some fact checking.
Yeah, Idaho State was not listed on a Colby future. So this maybe
I didn't say that. I said I have my 2. I said I have my 2, but if you're looking for a third, it would be Idaho State. I didn't take Idaho State.
Well, it sounds like he's at the clubhouse again. Gentlemen, you looking for a third? Trying to get in on the next round.
I told this to all my chums.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
that's genius. Not off book record.
Yeah, looking for a third. But all jokes aside,
there's nothing to joke about.
I'm with Colby. Idaho State is the play. This is a potential lock for me.
The Bengals?
Yeah.
Potential lock, huh?
Yep.
You know what? But too much agreement so far. I don't know why.
Take your Montana State Bobcats.
I think I'm going to take the Bobcats. I may have run into some Bobcat tracks this morning and some scat, and it reminded me Montana State. Nice play. Give me. What's the distance from Bozeman down to Boise?
But Colby likes to point out this isn't Boise, Idaho, so there might be some Idaho State fans in attendance.
Maybe a bunch of people that don't like Idaho State.
Nah.
I also think Montana State travels well. We know this from watching football. Absolutely.
Yeah, football's different.
Give me the die. Now I'm positioned to have
3 hours. By the way, 3 hours from Pocatello to Boise.
That's a fun road trip.
3 hours. That's
that's nothing. That's nothing. Bozeman to Boise. What is Bozeman to Boise?
It's closer.
No,
it's closer.
You're crazy.
Look it up. Charleston. No. I see Colby added
7 hours, 22 minutes.
But a lot of people in Bozeman have private jets, so they'll probably just shoot down on their private jet. Charleston, UNC Wilmington, 5:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Semifinal game. 4-point spread according to Pick Dundee. I don't think we have these in the wild yet. Correct?
Yeah, no, because this game just wrapped. This game's awesome. This is a rivalry game, and the top 2 teams odds on to win the conference, despite the seeding being they were the 2 and 3 seeds, I believe, in the conference tournament there, but these were still the odds on favorites. And yeah, I'm all over Wilmington here. I just think Charleston, great story, but Wilmington's been I think this is their year, man. I think it could be their year. Laying the 4 here. Charleston, I would say they took a step back this year. They're still a solid team, but they should have lost tonight if Monmouth had handled the execution in the final minute or 2 better.
And you mentioned that, Colby. Monmouth, that was an OT game. So you have a game, you just literally a no rest game. I get it, they're young college kids, but still, you add the OT minutes onto that. You have a game where UNC Wilmington obviously going to be jacked up for the opportunity to stick it to their rival. Love UNC Wilmington here. They kind of cruised by Hampton. They didn't really have to put in as much as Charleston did to get past Monmouth. So I love Charleston here.
Wilmington's won 8 of 10 against them too. They've kind of had their number.
They got their
number.
Well, so all right, what do I do, Colby? I have the future on Charleston and Towson. How do I play this? I feel like if I lay the points,
you bet a lot of money on Wilmington.
I got on the episode when we broke it down, Sean, plus 450 on Towson, plus 380 on Charleston.
Okay.
Because playing Wilmington would be a hedge. Do I hedge?
Of course not. Why would you hedge -4 you're not even in the championship yet.
But I have Towson too.
Yeah, but still,
I didn't hedge Towson when we talked about it earlier.
Yeah, come on. What is this, amateur hour?
Well, you guys are talking pretty confidently over there.
I didn't.
I do feel confident. I had Monmouth beating. Charleston.
Yeah, that was a loser pick too.
No, they covered. We cashed there.
Well, they won the game though. Not with a lot of conviction because it's a big dog, but give me Charleston. And because Sean said I can't hedge.
Well, a big dog of 4 points.
It's the biggest one on my card. It will not be my dog. Incarnate word, Nicholls.
Hitler.
It's Nicholls.
Yeah, I remember them.
Well, I mean, and we dug up how people have asked them to change the.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
no, I take that back. We looked up that this is the newer version of it. So this is the one they are
pretty Hitlery. If you ask me.
changed. Lake Charles, Louisiana, 4-point projected spread here for Nicholls.
Imagine someone points out to you like,
on the West
"Hey,
Coast.
by the way, your
Wait, do I still have
your company logo, everything?" And they went with the red and black color scheme. Hey, that really looks like Nazi stuff. And they're like, "Yeah, so we're Nicholls. We're not going to change for everyone."
Yeah, and we're not. Clearly, you can tell. Look, I hate to say this, but I think the Nazis are loading up. The Army's getting stronger over there, Sean. Incarnate word to start the game tonight against Southeast Louisiana. I mean, they hit like their first 8 threes. No way that's sustainable. No way that is sustainable against a team that's much better. Nick, you look at what Nicholls does. Nicholls is a top 75 defensive rated team. They're gonna defend the three much better than Southeast Louisiana. I will lay the number. The Nazis take down these birds.
Now Incarnate Ward did beat Nicholls in the
in the first matchup.
Season.
The second matchup, Nicholls won by 6.
Yeah, and I don't think we mentioned it, but Incarnate Ward also coming off an OT game against Southeast Louisiana. So. Yeah, I think you got to go Nicholls here. Kramer, what are you doing?
All right. So I was just doing a little research. It does seem like there was pressure put on the university to change the logo back in 2009, but the logo that we looked at is more modern than that. And so that was the cartooned version of like that was their response to to Nazi.
that
we dialed the Nazi back a little bit. Unbelievable that you guys would step in here and take Nicholls with what that. I mean, they're basically a Nazi propaganda machine. Incarnate word. Wait, let me just double check something. Oh yeah, no, I'm not cool with Nazi mascots.
I think he's full of shit, Sean. I remember during our FCS show, he was all over Nicholls and Lindsey Scott. So,
that was before you brought this to our attention.
Oh, please.
You know, I'm a TMZ guy. You know, I'm a TMZ guy.
But now we know you were a supporter of Nazis back then.
I mean, I mean, you can't prove that, but I did. Lindsey Scott was an electric quarterback at the FCS level. He was like FCS Kyler, just scatting around all over the place. All right. Thanks for bringing that up, Colby. Real productive add to the show. Pepperdine.
The waves. Catch the waves.
So many dogs in a row. Pepperdine.
Tragic magic. That's what this is about.
We're in Vegas and we're dealing with so this would be the Pepperdine has played 2 games? 2 games. St. Mary's with a double bye. St. Mary's laying a projected 18 points here. Massive number out in Vegas. Colby, there's no way you can lay this many with St. Mary's against a red hot Pepperdine team, right?
Well, especially like I made the mistake of thinking, when all the Palisades in Malibu burnt down, Mick Cronin's house, I thought maybe UCLA should be the tragic magic play. No, it's right here, Pepperdine. They're doing it for the community. All right, give me the points, and these waves are crashing there in Vegas. Let's go.
I love how hey, you lost your home. Good news. Pepperdine, they covered the number 18 against St. Mary's. That'll help. Nothing will rebuild the community quite like Pepperdine basketball. I'm with you though. 18 is way too much. And St. Mary's, people always make fun of me when I talk about this in these conference tournaments, but St. Mary's is already looking ahead. They don't care about a little lonely ass Pepperdine. This Pepperdine team's locked in.
Take the waves. It's much better than your homeowner insurance policy.
And shout out to fellow guys who travel on Southwest out of Burbank Airport. Got to take them just for that fact alone. Although coming from Malibu, LAX.
That was interesting. That was a little interesting when you told me that one. I didn't see that one coming, but
LAX kind of maybe a shorter drive. It's probably pretty close.
Yeah, but just the ease of
Burbank's
Burbank
obviously
Airport.
way more convenient though.
I mean, look, I mean, we don't want to blanket say everyone that takes that flight, in light of what we found out about Drewski.
Talking Carl Weathers again?
I just want to make sure. It sounds like I accidentally stumbled into an excerpt of the legal stuff with Drewski.
Oh, no.
I'm not going to talk about any of the serious stuff because there's some horrible serious stuff in there.
Yeah,
but there was a slip and slide. There's just there was a slip and slide, and we know there was a lot of oil. So we'll again
Drewski on the slip and slide.
DYOR, as the kids say.
Kramer, you got to ride the waves.
I'm
right?
riding the waves.
Okay,
I'm riding
easy
the waves.
enough.
Wait a second. 18-point dog. No. No. You tried to call a look ahead spot for a St. Mary's. Lay the points. This is the end of the waves crash. There's no such thing as an infinite wave. Although they do have those crazy surf pools where they create infinite waves. That is.
Remember, St. Mary's not projected to win their tournament.
Yeah,
but yet they're the 21st team in the country, by far the top team in that conference.
Who is Gonzaga going to play, Colby?
The winner of this Washington State San Francisco game. Right now, it's San Francisco's up 1. Yeah, so.
Don's getting their ass beat on neutral court again would be fitting. It does seem like it's the Zags conference to lose, but yeah, I'll lay it. I'm laying it. This number won't be this big either. Let's point that out. I think Pick Dundee's getting aggressive.
I don't know.
Youngstown State.
Ken Palm has it exactly. Ken Palm copying Colby's number.
18.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Ken Palm copying
that
Colby.
Hokie, huh?
Yeah, you didn't.
I've never been to Ken Palm.
What? You've never been to Ken Palm?
I refuse. You know.
Yeah, you have all of those. That data is all analog in your head. Youngstown State, Cleveland State. I mentioned earlier I do have the Cleveland State future. We're back in Indy, 6:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Cleveland State laying 1.5. Colby, I'm obviously on them already, Sean. I got the future in pocket, so just pencil me down for Cleveland State because I would never hedge. Colby, what are you doing?
I'm taking Youngstown State. I think they're playing better ball towards the end of the year. It's in Indianapolis. I have no idea who has the home edge here. But I think Youngstown's been the better team down the stretch. Not necessarily all year, but down the stretch. They've been the better team. One of the reasons why I like them is I would say that they are a decent 3-point shooting team. So you get that going against Cleveland State. Cleveland State's got a slightly better defense, but I like that 3 ball that Youngstown can hit. So let's go Penguins all day.
So you're going Youngstown State. I'm kind of making a case here for Cleveland State, and it starts with their ability to turn over Youngstown State. That's jumping out of me. Looking at these matchups here. Their ability to create turnovers. And Youngstown State isn't great at protecting the basketball there. The rock, as the kids say. I know Youngstown State's defense is all right, but I think the turnovers are going to be the difference in a close game. So pretty even free throw percentage. I'll take Cleveland State.
Actually, change my pick.
Whoa.
Have you guys been following this shit?
Sorry, I'm Googling Drewski.
Oh my God.
Have you got take for example San Francisco's Marcus Williams, who's arguably their best player. He was ruled out of this NCAA tournament or the WCC tournament, right? I saw that he was ruled out. I didn't get an explanation. I think Mac told me though that he thinks he was flagged for that gambling thing. No. Well, I'm looking right now and I see EJ Farmer, the leading scorer for Youngstown, is out with undisclosed. So I don't know what that is. So I will take Cleveland State.
He's out with game fixing. Yeah. If he's out for game fixing, that might make them better too. There's two sides to this.
We've tried to walk into the psychology of the game fixing. To me, it's just if there's any accusations on that side of the roster, I'm on the other side.
Yeah, I mean, I think you gotta take Cleveland State now.
The Fresno State kids were actually betting on themselves, and they were playing, like these the fantasy pick'ems where they were taking the higher on some of their own things, and it was for like $50. They weren't even rigging it. Some of them. I don't know the entire case.
But this is going to be amazing when it comes out because it's going to be an insanely long list. It's going to be the ultimate hammer case to like make sure it never happens again.
Jeff Sharp in the chat. Yeah, Colby.
I was saying to give you an idea with Marcus Williams, guys. This is a guy that 3 of the last 4 games has gone for 20 points plus, and that's San Francisco. But they're playing right now. But I mean, the same situation here. If it is the same situation, I'm not saying it definitely is. It's just weird they don't disclose anything. But this is the leading scorer for Youngstown State. This is probably explains why Youngstown's not favored, because Youngstown had just recently beat them by I think 7 or 8. Yeah, I think you got to take Cleveland State.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. Well, we're gonna have to talk to SGPN owns Adam Pelletier. I see a John Pelletier also listed on this lawsuit. Sean, completely distracted by Drewski.
So you're on Cleveland State.
Well, like I said, I'm not going to hedge my future.
There you go. Shout out to Jeff in the chat saying he's going to be at Circuit tomorrow.
Really?
While you're there, say what's up to Derek. He needs a 3-legger. Do we have a tripod for him? We're going to give out our locks and dogs. Maybe we got a parlay.
We will.
Cooking up for Jeff here.
Give us a minute. 7 p.m. on the West Coast. Last one. Starch Madness. The Vandals. We've had a good night in Moscow. What's the distance from Moscow to Boise, Colby? You geography fucking nerd. Portland State, which I believe you two.
Yeah, we got a Portland State future.
Okay. What are we doing here, Colby?
I'm taking Portland State. I mean, I am looking up the distance for you, but I believe it's like 6 or 7 hours, right? 5 hours, 40 minutes. 5 hours, 40 minutes, and that includes a toll. They got tolls over there in Idaho.
It's an impressively tall state. I'll say that.
It's big of you, Ryan. I'm with Colby. I mean, I like Portland State. We got the Portland State future coming into this game. Why would I take them to cover against Idaho? Not a great free throw shooting team, Portland State, but
that would be one reason why.
That is one reason. But their defense is what the difference is. Idaho 348th in the nation defensive efficiency. Portland State 110. That is massive. That's enough to outweigh the free throw discrepancy. So, give me Portland State laying the number. Kramer, what are you doing?
Yeah, you got to take Portland State. We're gonna face off. When is the Big Sky Championship game, Colby? They skipping days, or is it? No,
they would play tomorrow. Like I said, right now Montana's up 11 on Northern Arizona with 2 minutes left. Looks like I'm gonna cash. Me and you, we have a future on Montana, but I also have a lock battle here with Mac on Montana and Northern Arizona here. So
Colby has Montana and Portland State. And I believe he tried to take Idaho State, but we scolded him.
I did not take Idaho State. I just advised my clients, if you're looking for something on the north side of the bracket, that the Idaho State Bengals would be the logical play.
And then you took
sounds like
a
real estate agent. If you're on the north side of the bracket, lovely view there from Montana State. All right, we're gonna give out some locks and dogs. Before we do, shout out to Rhythm, of course. Not only is Rhythm hosting a party March 19th at the Circa Stadium Swim there, March 19th, 4:30. Watch a playing game with us and your fellow DGens. Drinks on the house, courtesy of Rhythm. Sign up for Rhythm and then come to the party. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/party. If you can't make it out to Vegas, you can still enter for a chance to win a $250 future from Circa. So, of course, you want to get in for that. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/party. But Rhythm also been on a bit of a heater. I just built a Rhythm model and I named it after our buddy Po Boy King.
Really?
Yes, and
Just stole the man's name.
it's off to a 1-0 start. Po Boy King, the model, liked the like the total there that smashed. So shout out to Po Boy King, off to a good start. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/party. Sign up, get in. What are you gonna? Yeah, come on. You want to hang out in Vegas, and even if you can't make it, you can still enter for the future. And of course, head over to underdogfantasy.com. Use the promo code SGPN. Get involved in a pick'em. We've been called with these pick'ems, Colby. We got to get right. Of course, I suggested we got to lock in and do a higher and a lower. Of course, wouldn't you know, the lower we selected was what did us in from last week or last episode. But what are we doing this week to make it up? And
there's nothing out there yet.
We don't have any college basketball.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter.
I mean,
but in game right now, you can go with Malik Thomas of San Francisco, higher than 11.5 points. And so let's jump in game. Malik Thomas. Look, someone's got to score the ball. Marcus Williams is out. Let's go with Malik Thomas, higher than 11.5 points. And on the other side of this, let's jump over to Wazoo, where Ethan Price.
So these are their second half numbers. So we think Malik Thomas can get 12 points in the second half, Colby? I'm pretty sure that's what it means.
Someone's got to score the ball over there. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's take that.
Okay. Yeah. And then what do we pair it with? Ethan Price.
I was thinking perhaps. Let me just check right now. What
Eric Schrupp.
Yeah. Let's check right now. Who is kind of killing? Who's hot? Right.
If you wanted to pair it with Justin Steele to go higher than 150.5 strikeouts on the season.
Oh, you can do it season long MLB.
Nothing like in game with MLB season long.
I do have a 50% profit boost. It's itching. It's burning a hole in my pocket here.
Price is the play.
Higher
Price. He's got 11 points already in the first half. You can, that's what's 7.5 when your season's on the line. He's going to get higher than that, Sean.
Ethan Price to get 8 points in the second half. Malik Thomas to get 12 in the second half. $100 returns you $322 over at Underdog Fantasy. Use the promo code SGPN when you sign up, and you can get up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code SGPN.
The chat makes a great point here, Tyler. If you follow our Instagram for the college experience at TCE on SGPN, we shared that Wofford has a guy that shoots free throws underhanded.
Oh, I mean, it's one thing to shoot if you're shooting granny style and it works, so be it. But if you're shooting granny style and you're still 30% from the line, get the fuck out of here.
I believe he switched
works
to
is like 65%.
Underhand. I believe he switched to underhand in the midst of the season. I thought.
Also, wasn't he shooting worse than 30% before?
I thought so, something like that.
Okay, but, so I guess works is improving, but still,
he airballed one tonight, according to Monty. I missed the airball.
Sean, if you were really horrible at shooting free throws,
tough to relate, but okay.
What do you think you could knock down? If we shot 100 free throws, how many are you sinking? One session. So you a little fatigue maybe. We'll take one break in there.
Well, I get hit 60.
60.
No problem.
Yeah. Not a professional. Do not practice every day. 60%.
No, I haven't shot a basketball in a long time. But I mean, if I had some time to prepare a little bit, if I practice for a week, I could get up to 65, 70. I think it's reasonable.
I just did this. I guarantee you. So been shooting a little bit with the little one who's on her school's basketball team.
You shot 100 free throws?
We've been shooting 100 more than once.
Yeah. It's
a great way to finish a workout. My best effort, and this is like now I've shot probably like 700 free throws over the last 3 weeks. My best effort. What do you think it was?
55.
71.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
but a lot of it is once you get a little bit fatigued, the cold streaks become like just front iron.
Well, you take a little break.
Also, I'm at a park with a double rim.
Oh, the double rim. Those don't count.
Let's talk about this though. Our boy for Wofford, I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. That shoots 30%.
Yeah, I'll pull.
He's got.
Yeah, let's get a little visual.
Yeah, well, actually, you're gonna do visual for both of these guys. All right.
Yes,
Austin
sir.
P unfortunately got eliminated, but Hansel Emmanuel is a one-armed player for Austin P.
Oh, I saw this.
One arm, and he shoots almost 56% from the free throw line. So you're telling me he's almost double? He's almost double.
Insane.
That's incredible. I mean, you got to be. The coaches feed him the wrong information. You got to be telling him this shit. You got to say, look, son, you can't get the ball in there. We got a one-arm guy straight, right over there, shooting double your percentage almost.
I mean, that's impressive playing with.
Hold on, I'm looking at the. What's his overall stats this season?
Hansel Emmanuel.
Yeah, let's see.
He's averaging 2.5 points, 2.5 boards though. All right, limited time, of course, but
we've lost our way. We have a lot of conference tournaments to talk about.
We got some locks. We got some dogs. Kramer, you're on the clock. What do you got here?
I'll be honest. I thought Colby did a bad job selecting the games to talk about on Monday.
Wow.
Certainly, there must be some better games going on than this. Give me, give me. Let's see. We'll start with a Towson play.
Okay.
You know, I like a good 1 seed. We'll then pivot over to a. Give me my dog is Troy Moneyline. We're also going to put Oakland plus 2.5. I like that. I like a lot of what Colby said about that game. And then we're going to close it out with a Cleveland State minus 1.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, give me UNC Wilmington. Lock it up.
Colby,
Pepperdine plus 18.
There might be someone in Colby's house. I just heard some creaking. Maybe someone stepped on a floorboard.
So, well, all right. There's a lot of someone sneaking up on Colby.
Yeah, just
so UNC Wilmington laying the 4. Pepperdine getting the 18 points. Way too many points.
Go.
And Portland State laying 4.5.
It's gonna suck when the man with the knife stands behind Colby. We're like, Colby, there's a man behind you. And he's like, whatever.
Please, before you kill me, I have thoughts on the Conference USA. Let me get these out. Colby's last words will be never. It's not an official play, but if you like Montana State as a third ad, get that out right before he gets stabbed. For my dog on the money line, there's not a bunch. Most of these spreads are pretty reasonable. Pepperdine's probably a little too crazy. I'll go Oakland on the money line there. It's a small little yapper, but I'll take it. Colby, what do you got?
Yeah, let's lock up Wilmington. That's the one. Let's go there. Also going to add Towson to the play.
Okay.
Nice pick.
The third lock will be the Nazis against Incarnate Word. And the dog will be
Colby very chalky today.
I think this feels a little bit like he's just throwing pickles at the glass.
Let's go with the dog will be the Troy Trojans.
Ooh, Trojan
Great
man.
And
right,
let's do
Troy
a
on the
parlay
money
of
line.
Troy and Oakland.
Okay, I like that. I'll co-sign that. Kramer, you in on that?
Money line parlay there.
Sure.
Okay. And that'll be instead of a 3-legger, just take Oakland and Troy money line is our official recommendation.
Okay. And also I'm coming across the old version of Colonel Tillu or whatever the Nicholls mascot is.
Yes.
He just looked a lot more like a old, like Colonel Sanders.
That doesn't remind me of the Nazis.
Yeah, actually, hold on. Well, because they've rebranded multiple times now. That's what you have to remember. But now I hate to fall down another rabbit hole, but you guys have to see this.
Dookie tried to get me to Google this the other day. But I'm a happily married man. I told him, I said, I'm not going to be looking up Hitler had a fetish he liked to get shit on.
That's
everyone knows that.
glass bottom boat.
Yeah. He was into some very strange.
Also vegetarian.
He was the opposite of Diddy. if that can be. But
I don't know. They did share some thoughts here. Wait, the guy on the right is what they changed it to?
That's the rebrand.
No,
that's
right.
hilarious.
No way. The Nicholls, the guy on the left reminds me of Gus Chickens from that Will Ferrell sketch. The guy on the right just is a Nazi with a giant N. Come on.
So
What are we doing here?
That's
right,
gold.
We're just doing journalism.
Oh, wait, hold on. We got to show a photo of Gus Chickens now.
What the fuck is?
You don't know Gus Chickens, right?
Maybe I do by visual.
All right, I'm pulling up Gus Chickens.
Is it safe to Google?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I got it. Oh, I see what you're saying. I got it. I got a picture.
Yeah, bring up Gus Chickens because he looks exactly like him.
And no, I not in a million years would I have known who this is. Might make me a bad person.
What do you mean?
I didn't know the character of this.
I've watched this sketch with you no less than 5 times.
I know, and I'm telling you, I didn't know the name.
Oh, the character name.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
It's the old timey mining character that Will Ferrell played. It was and I think it was cut for air, but it was all over the YouTubes and stuff.
Why would they cut it?
I don't know, because no one could keep a straight face.
Oh, this is a great cover up for Colby too.
Gus Chickens. Well, the premise was great. It was it was like early 2000s. It was like talking about the war in Afghanistan. They're like, it's an unconventional war, so we're bringing in some unconventional support here. You should be worried instead of these caves. You should be worried about rattlesnakes. Rattlesnake is what my ex-wife's was. And just look up Gus Chickens. Amazing.
All right, you guys want to talk about the ACC?
Yes.
Again, there's a million tournaments starting on Tuesday and Wednesday this week. So if we start with some games and conferences that are starting on Tuesday the 11th. Thankfully, we have a great art department creating these amazing Pick Dundee graphics here.
Yeah, Colby never includes any photos of us.
Yeah, I mean, again, he and a very, very dreamy picture of Pick Dundee that I keep getting just absolutely lost in his eyes. The ACC sticking with their traditional model, which it has changed a little bit, but always kind of includes the classic. Top 4 seeds start in the quarterfinals and work backwards from there.
Wait, where's the champ from last year? NC State. Oh,
not there.
They didn't make it.
The bottom teams in this conference really are absolute ass.
Yeah, shouldn't it be like the Masters or all these like golf tournaments? If you made it, if you won last year, don't you get a chance to defend?
Every team should be in their conference tournament. That is some new bullshit because they have 300 teams as a conference.
I mean, which is pretty fun.
How many teams missed the conference tournament in the ACC?
3, right? Right.
3.
Yeah, 3. Yeah.
So let's say the bottom team, you knock them out, but you looking at this bracket, obviously it would be very easy to add at least one more team.
You should just add all of them, especially knowing that the 2 of the 3 that are not in it have been in 2 of the last Final Fours.
Yeah.
Miami and NC State.
There's not much harm in just crowbarring everyone into a tournament situation.
Yeah, I mean Georgia Tech, Virginia, can't they play the winners of NC State, Miami, like something like that, right? Like,
yeah.
Why are they getting a first round bye?
It's not. Yeah, it wouldn't be that difficult to squeeze a couple more teams in. You get another game, that's more revenue. I don't know.
Get it to how many? What is it? 16 teams and they cut 2?
No, 14. 15. They cut 3. Right?
No, 15. Cal.
So they only cut 2. Okay,
they
yeah.
Cut 2. Yeah. Even more
so
egregious. Dumb. I'm sure they could have figured it out. Hire some AI and get to it. All right. So those games we will get to talk about. That the Pittsburgh first game on Tuesday, 11 a.m. on the West Coast. The 13 against Notre Dame, the 12 seed. Again, really not great matchups here, and not generally teams you're going to want to. You haven't been backing away from home all year. Pittsburgh laying 2.5 here in the traditional home of the ACC tournament. Charlotte, Colby.
Yeah, I'm going to fade the team that just played 4 overtimes. And Notre Dame.
Good strategy.
Also, Jeff Capel, he's from the state of North Carolina. He's going to get his boys up. I'll lay the 2.5 with Pitt. But Notre Dame did beat them just a few weeks back by 4 points there in South Bend. But this is in Charlotte. Give me the Panthers to find a way to get this thing done.
I'm going to say this one might be a bigger number too, slightly bigger number.
Really, even though Notre Dame just won by 4.
I mean, you know how it is with the Vegas numbers. Ken Palm sitting on 4.
Ken Palm has 5.
5? Oh, I'm sorry, I missed. So yeah, maybe we move this to 3.5.
All right, 3.5 sounds good. I still I'm with Colby. Give me Pitt. I did see our buddy Dano, who's a big Notre Dame fan, saying we got in the tournament. He was celebrating getting into the conference tournament, which is it's hilarious to be a bubble team on the conference tournament. But again, neither of these teams are that good. But Pittsburgh has an offense, and their defense really,
Sean, don't forget that press conference with Notre Dame's coach.
Yeah, no, that's I mean, again, it's all. Notre Dame's very bad.
Forget.
So for me, it's all over Pitt. I don't anything up to 6. I'm on Pitt. Kramer, what are you doing?
Oh no, yeah. Since I understand that this is there's two competing trends here. One, Notre Dame played Pitt relatively recently, so that trend would say, well, you're an idiot. You got to take Notre Dame. But the other one was I just said I'm not betting on a team coached by Mike Shrewsbury after that fucking tantrum. So
he's an
I hate Jeff Cable. We hate both of these coaches. This is an impossible spot to put ourselves in. Cal Tech from Virginia, 1:30 p.m. on the West Coast.
I have a question for you, Kramer. Is it easier to get to Charlotte from Berkeley than Blacksburg?
There are some treacherous paths you have to go through.
I think it's easier. I think it's easier if you're Cal.
Yeah, you just shoot on a little airplane from the West Coast.
That's hilarious.
I don't know how you can back Virginia Tech under any circumstance. Colby's projecting this to be a Cal laying a 1.5. Is that correct, Colby?
Correct, and I will fade them because they just played in 4 overtimes. Give me Virginia Tech to get this done. Also, they're not going to a different time zone. And Mike Young's Hokies.
Wait, you like Virginia Tech to get this win?
He's right to fade the team who just played in 4 overtimes.
It's true.
So I think in general that's a good strategy. Not 4 overtimes.
You lose to Notre Dame in 4 overtimes. Now you got to travel. Now wait, did they go back to the West Coast? Because that was on Saturday. They probably just went to Virginia, right? Or
either way, they were in South Bend. It's a different time zone.
They definitely went home first, I bet.
No.
On
Saturday after 4 overtimes.
Did they know they were going to be in the tournament?
But Sean, these games are on Tuesday though.
Yeah,
this isn't.
But they're the.
I'm sorry. This is Wednesday.
They're the. Yeah, Tuesday.
Tuesday. Okay.
Tuesday. They're the final seed. Did they know they were going to make the tournament? They definitely traveled.
Well, they
home
lost.
First.
So.
Oh yeah, you're right. They optimistically they would have been in, but I think they still traveled a shitload after that 4 overtime game.
Yeah. Either way,
I don't think this is like an NFL team. They didn't just go straight to the tournament.
They didn't do the weekend at the Greenbrier.
I don't think so. Give me the Hokies. Last time. Syracuse.
You know what? I'm taking Cal. Fuck you guys.
Okay.
Virginia Tech so bad.
That's fine.
Cal's a favorite for a reason. Let's go.
Arguably, you could say both of these teams are pretty bad. Syracuse, the 14 seed. Florida State, the 11 seed. Florida State projected by Pick Dundee to be laying 2 here, 4 p.m. on the West Coast. I mean, my God, these teams are all so bad. I see what people are saying about the ACC.
All over Florida State here. Leonard Hamilton's farewell tour. They got up for him against SMU. So give me Saudi Arabia State minus the 2.
I love Florida State has gone full Florida, and as soon as you can start paying players, they just go bonkers, and both programs look like they're on the brink of completely going away. Just what's the hot rumor for the next coach?
The dude from the Sacramento Kings. Did they make that official? They might have. I think they made it official.
Really?
And by the way,
it's
I mean,
not even a good job.
They need to put odds on who they hire next because if you listen to the college football experience, our boy Scott Loeffler left for the Eagles. Good luck with that, Sean. But we did a podcast. I did an instant reaction podcast where I said Bowling Green should hire Eddie George, and boom, they hired Eddie George today. So
really?
Yeah,
huge.
There we go. Yeah,
still can't
call that over
guy.
a week ago.
Nice job. And so that means you're taking Florida State.
I'm all over Saudi Arabia State.
Yeah. I mean, to your point,
who's Florida State?
You're right. I apologize.
I'm going with Syracuse here. Syracuse is a dog. This is a nice. I know I said I was going to label revenge, but this is a good revenge spot for Syracuse. And Syracuse, even when they have bad teams, they've exceeded expectations in the tournament. I will say that this Florida State team should not be favored over anyone, especially a battle-tested team like Syracuse. Give me the Cuse.
Is Syracuse pretty bad? Are you sure you want to do that, Sean?
Yeah. So is Florida State. Why are they favored?
But Syracuse is like bad.
Yeah. So is Florida State.
Florida State. I think Florida State still does some stuff. Florida State still plays defense. It's still Leonard Hamilton team. I'm with Colby. Give me Florida State. Thank you for opening my eyes.
You sheiks. Colby has a lot of blood money on his card here tonight.
Not my money.
Nicholls. Oh, I'm also Nicholls. Florida State.
All right, and quickly Wednesday morning, 9 a.m.
Hey, can we add Penn State to the card? Colby's got an angle.
Yeah, huge win by Penn State.
Yeah, at Maryland. Wait, are they going to make the Big Ten conference?
Wisconsin.
Sorry, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Are they going to make the conference tournament?
No. We covered this on our show. Mike Rhodes. Yeah. Mike Rhodes, the Penn State's head coach, former VCU head coach, took them to the tournament. He was calling it out after they lost by like 2 at Indiana, and this is a team that's had injuries a lot this year. And he called out the Big Ten, saying, what are we doing here? Like I've coached D3, D2, Randolph-Macon, and it's every kid shouldn't the kids get this experience of playing and having a chance? He goes, we had injuries all year. Look, last year we won a couple games in the tournament. That could have been this year, and to deprive that opportunity is ridiculous. I completely agree with Mike Rhodes. Yeah.
I mean, I get it. You have a lot of teams in your conference, but you did that to yourself.
But also too, that's what's fun about college basketball is literally any team can have a chance. All you got to do is win the conference tournament, and then who knows? Obviously, not every team legitimately has a chance.
And there's scheduling imbalances because the conferences are that big. So you should definitely let everyone into your conference tournament.
How many teams are in the Big Ten?
18. Ridiculous.
Update: Drewski is denying all allegations.
Well, of course, I'd hope so.
Well, just letting you know.
So I just asked Grok to make me a 18 team single elimination bracket.
No way he could do it
in less than 5 seconds.
No, really?
These conferences are hilarious. How much money do they spend on consultants to figure out the format of their UVA coming from Charlottesville to Charlotte, taking on Georgia Tech, the 8 seed. Colby predicts that UVA will be laying a point. That can't be right.
Well, UVA got it by 14 on February 8th, and I think that's probably why they're going to do that. But Georgia Tech was hot in their last 10 games, won 7 of the last 10 games before they got drilled by Wake Forest and only scored 40-some points against Wake Forest.
That was bad luck. And one of those losses was to UVA.
I'm taking the Wahoos, and I think the Wahoos still they're still kind of playing Tony Bennett ball, where they're 362nd in pace. Damon Stoudemire and Georgia Tech, they don't match up well against that. So there's a reason why you like the Wahoos there. Another thing is, like, I know Virginia's defense has been asked this year, but I just feel like in one game, in a one-off here for one game to get, I trust UVA more than I do. Georgia Tech is all over the place. They're one of the more unpredictable teams in the conference.
Yeah, they don't defend the 3-point line well either.
I'm all over UVA.
This is a real rock hard place.
Yeah, really.
Hate both these teams, but objectively, you got to take UVA in this matchup.
Yeah, no, they're the better team, better at the line.
All about that 3-point shot. All right, let's talk ACC conference futures. Colby was nice enough to have his art department make some graphics. Duke minus 320, bigger favorite than Drake, I believe, maybe similar. Louisville plus 550, Clemson plus 700, the Tar Heels of North Carolina somehow the fourth favorite at 30-1, SMU 60-1, Wake 75-1, Virginia Tech, UVA, Stanford, Pittsburgh, Georgia Tech, Saudi Arabia State. Nice work, Colby. All 250-1. Syracuse, the Orange Men. Colby hasn't changed that damn name. 300-1, along with Notre Dame and the Cal Bears.
What do they have a woman playing on their team?
What's that?
Syracuse.
Oh, you mean the change from Orange Men to Orange?
I can't speak for every player's identity.
It is a little strange, and I know that what was the women's team before? They were already changing it to a female ish pronoun. So I don't see what to your point. I don't see what the big deal is. Although someone up there in upstate New York was upset about something.
Well, no, when they start playing women on their men's basketball team, I'll refer to them as the Orange.
Well, yeah, but I think, yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you, but I think also, yeah, the women's team was already not calling themselves the Orange Men. They were saying they're the Lady Orange or the Orange Women or something. So like, it's even more nonsensical when you think about that. Can you take anyone but Duke in this? Although I guarantee Duke doesn't want to win this tournament. Duke wants nothing to do with winning this tournament.
So I mean, I put $10 on Syracuse at 300-1. I win $3,000.
No, you win $0. That's not coming through.
Okay, but there's $3,000, $10. Consider $10 doesn't matter to me. $3,000 that would matter to me.
Oh, I like this. So it's a free roll. It's a free bet
at $10. It's
a great free bet. Colby, who are we taking a shot on? SMU?
No, I think the shots are. Well, I actually think Clemson's the second best team in this conference. They beat Duke. They went to the Elite Eight last year. Now the question is, do you want to win the ACC tournament because you're going to be in the outright? But I still think that you're getting good value for the second best team who's beaten the top team in the conference. So Clemson makes a lot of sense.
And they're the team that plays like they're of the good teams in the conference. They play the slow pace. Like they're gonna try to play a different style. So I do like that. I hate Clemson.
UNC at 30-1?
No, thank you.
I think UNC or Wake Forest makes sense because those are teams there's value in, and both those teams have been playing much better towards the end of the season. So if someone takes out Duke, this is a shitty conference. So like Wake Forest and North Carolina are capable of beating any of these teams. Now, I'm sorry, Wake Forest hasn't been playing great towards the end of the year, but Wake Forest to me has the talent. This is a team that beat Michigan earlier this year. They have the talent. And they're in North Carolina. There's tournaments in North Carolina, even though the Tar Heels make sense too, just because they're going to have that crowd.
Yeah, I'll take UNC at 30-1 and Clemson 7-1. Kramer, what are you doing? You just taking Duke?
No, I'm taking Clemson.
Okay.
We should take a shot on the Salties too.
On what?
The Florida State because of Hamilton. State?
Yeah, the Salties.
No, I'm going to go
250-1. You're saying, Colby?
Why not? It's this conference. Let me just bring this up. Like,
no, I'm going to
bring up the bracket again, Kramer.
Give me Louisville as well. I'm just going to box in the 2 and 3 seeds. That was my thought the entire time. But yeah, maybe I should.
Shout out to Terrell Furman saying, "You guys know who Drewski is?" Yeah, Kramer's a big Drewski guy.
The fuck does that mean?
You like his?
Oh no,
you like his videos. You're always sending them to me.
Yeah, no,
Drewski's so funny. He captures. He epitomizes.
Those Mountain Dew commercials are really rad.
He's your boy. All right, let's look at this bracket.
I mean, honestly, like this is. I actually think there's a lot of value in the deeper seeds here because if someone just takes care of Duke, Clemson and Louisville could lose to any of these teams. I think there's value in a lot of spots here, man. I think
almost want to take Florida State and Syracuse just so I have one 250 or 300 to 1 ticket going. All right, I'll do that. And
remember, I mean, NC State would have been eliminated with this bracket a year ago. They won the thing. The year before, was that Virginia Tech that won 2 years ago or 3 years ago?
3 years ago.
But they weren't going to make the NCAA tournament, so Virginia Tech ran the table. There's a track record in this conference of this happening. So if the three teams that we know are good to make the NCAA tournament are Duke, Clemson, and Louisville. So I think there's value on Wake. There's value on North Carolina, especially knowing that it's back in Charlotte. Those two schools, should have. I mean, North Carolina 100%.
Wake 75 to 1.
Is that's real? That's a real number. My God. So you're telling me I can take the 2, 3, and 4 seeds and have those juicy No, I'm just sticking with my guns. But
I think the Salties make a lot of sense. Florida State, I think, is going to beat Syracuse. I think they're better than SMU, and then they're playing Clemson. So it's like,
and they're 250 to 1.
Yeah, I think it makes a little bit.
Florida State.
Yeah.
What about Pitt? Familiarity. I mean, they win that game, then they're going down.
They could. I mean, dude,
Carolina.
And Pitt early in the year is a team that looked like they were decent. But
I'll just take some trash from any other trash from the northern part. No, I don't like any of these other teams.
I mean, Pitt early in the season, Pitt, they beat West Virginia, who's a tournament team. They looked the part early on, but
$20 on Syracuse.
Right, so this is excellent work, and my FSU. Sorry, Saudi Arabia State and Pitt plays are going to be like Sean's free plays. It's $10, which is basically nothing. So it's free play.
Yeah. So
I think you want the south part of the bracket. Personally, I think the south part of the bracket is achievable. Like I actually think Stanford has value. I think really every single team in the south side of the bracket, even your Hokies, I think that it wouldn't shock me.
Stanford's 250 to 1.
So just to be clear, you like Stanford, Virginia Tech, Florida State, any other teams from the lower part?
No. I'm just building a case for everybody. The plays that I'm going to do.
Stanford is a bye.
Yeah. So we're on Clemson. We're on Florida State.
Yeah,
I will also take North Carolina with that home crowd behind them.
Okay. So here's what I'm doing.
Is there a fourth that you won't make a play, but you point out as a good play?
Let's take a fourth play. You bastards are taking 4 or 5 plays.
I'm taking 5. I'm taking 5.
Look,
but come on, 3 of them are 250 to 1.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So sign me up. Sign me up for Stanford. I think Stanford could. I think they could.
Okay, I'm with you. So Colby. All right, here we go. So Colby, Clemson 7 to 1, UNC 30 to 1, Stanford 250 to 1, Florida State 250 to 1. I'm on all those plus Syracuse 300 to 1 because you guarantee yourself at least one team with the 250 to 1 that's going to be undefeated in the tournament.
That's genius.
That's going to have some heat, some momentum.
Half your clients get Florida State, half your clients get Syracuse.
No, I'll just put $10 on each.
And I'm on Louisville, Clemson, FSU, and Pitt Island over here.
So to answer Sinister, Clemson, FSU, Pitt.
Yeah.
To answer Sinister in the chat though, I think we should talk about why wouldn't Duke it? There's no value on Duke, and they've already won 8 games to end the season. So you're then asking them to win 11 games heading into March Madness. I wouldn't want to do that. But also, this doesn't normally go chalk. The ACC, we just talked about this. How Virginia Tech, NC State, notorious. So
I would point out that there is a chance. We started the show talking about UConn and an outlier season. Is there a chance Duke is an outlier team and the rest of this conference is so bad that they are able to casually walk?
But I mean, even now though, to Colby's point, are they going to be bigger than a -320 favorite in that final game? I don't know if they will be. So I think it's just kind of fun to throw some darts on some other stuff.
And to your direct question, the main reason why you wouldn't take the chalk, like Colby highlighted earlier, last year, North Carolina wins the regular season, NC State wins the tournament. Duke wins the tournament where they tied. If they were maybe the outlier, Duke wins back in 2022, the regular season. The Hokies win the tournament the year before that. UVA takes down the regular season. Georgia Tech wins the tournament. I mean, these none of these teams were very highly seeded. So much like in football, the ACC tends to fuck some shit up for themselves. All right, are we ready to move on to Conference USA?
Yes.
Thank God, Conference USA is here. Oh boy, so these smaller conferences that are creating these insane tiers.
At least they have a rocket ship on their logo.
Yeah, they do have a rocket ship as well, but down in Huntsville, Alabama, by the way. But they are playing first round games on the 11th and 12th and 13th. Oh wait, there's playing games clean up your bracket. Conference USA, like put it together. What are you doing with all this extra?
So we're gonna
lines?
pick the games on tomorrow's show.
What do you mean?
Oh, we're picking all the games now.
Are you paying attention?
Yeah, I am.
All these no, you're not. All these conferences start the 11th and 12th. We have to get through all of these. Let's go.
No, but I didn't know if we're gonna do all the playing games for these other ones.
Unreal, Colby. He doesn't want to talk about college football, college
basketball, right?
All right, we're gonna get through this quickly because it's the Conference USA tourney, and no one really cares about the 8-9 matchup between Sam Houston State and UTEP. UTEP, aka Texas El Paso, is laying a point against Sam Houston State. Again, the tourney's in Huntsville, out of Alabama. The racket of them hosting all these college sporting events is amazing. They do love their sports down there. 3:30 p.m. on the West Coast, Colby. Why is why is UTEP laying a point here?
That is a bit shocking because they've lost 7 or 8 in a row. And Sam Houston's playing great ball right now. I was going to say coming into this that I think Sam Houston should be.
And they just beat UTEP. And they just beat UTEP.
That's the scary part. And they barely beat UTEP. I don't care. I'm taking Sam Houston. UTEP loses that many games in a row. I have zero confidence with them.
Wrong team's favorite. And our new trend of taking the team that just won.
Yep. I'll rely on that. Sam Houston State just not looking good. Yeah, give me UTEP as well. Clean sweep.
And make sure you don't finish a word with a hard K before you're going to tell someone about Huntsville, Alabama. It could turn out poorly for you. Florida Internet.
Hold on. UTEP's lost how many in a row?
I think it was 7.
No, wrong
8.
team.
Oh, sorry.
Wait, what are you doing? No, I'm on Sam Houston State.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, that's another good trend. Don't take teams in the midst of very long losing streaks.
Yeah, UTEP's horrible.
Florida
all over Sam Houston State.
Florida
looking at it backwards.
Florida International, the 10 seed taking on Western Kentucky, the 7 seed, 6 p.m. on the West Coast. Big spread here for the Hilltoppers, projected to be 6 by Pick Dundee. Again, these games are on Tuesday.
Tops just beat them on March 6th. So 4 days ago.
Again, what's the trend tell us to do here?
I'm actually gonna take the points in this one. I'm gonna take because Western Kentucky is like a really good home team. Outside of that building, they're not that great. Give me the points in the Sun Blazers there.
I think I'm just sticking to my trend, even though the number's kind of big. Give me Western Kentucky.
Yeah, I mean Florida International's won 3 games this calendar year, so I'll go Western Kentucky.
True statement, but they've won 2 games since February 6th. Oh man, nothing like talking about these really bad games. All right, New Mexico State, the 5 seed, Kennesaw State, the 4 seed, projecting a New Mexico State -1.5. These games will be all the way out on Thursday, the 13th. Colby, New Mexico State laying 1.5, right? That's the side we want to be on.
Man, this is actually like probably the best of the opening games. New Mexico State, I think odds wise are the second favorites to win this thing. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact they played really well down the stretch, since really like February 20th, they played really good ball. However, Kennesaw is a team that, man, they just won at Jack State. I trust them. Give me Kennesaw.
Sean,
I'm going New Mexico State. I like their defense. I think that's I don't know. I mean, I see Colby's point of Kennesaw State's recent form, but New Mexico State took care of them. They beat them 60-49 in their place. I'm going to keep leaning into that, and the advanced numbers look pretty good for New Mexico State, and I like their defense, so I'll take New Mexico State.
New Mexico State also an interesting case. I know a lot of these sites have like experience metrics, but if you just look at raw age, New Mexico State has a very old team, and you know that generally we like to look at. We think we like to look at that kind of stuff come this time of year. So give me New Mexico State laying the 1.5. La Tech, Middle Tennessee State 6-3 matchup. Middle Tennessee State projected to be laying 2.5 by Mr. Pick Dundee.
I mean, this game is the hardest game that we've had to pick today, because La Tech came in to the season, I think, projected to win this thing. They're super talented, but they have been all over the place. Middle Tennessee is a team that we thought might win this thing a week ago. They've been all over the place. Both these teams, probably two of the more athletic teams in this conference. Give me the Blue Raiders.
Yeah. No, wait, that's Middle Tennessee.
Yeah.
Incorrect. They've lost twice to
Louisiana Tech.
Simple system.
One thing you know, they own Middle Tennessee State. 2-0 against them. I'm not going to get cute here. Give me Louisiana Tech.
Not hard to beat a team twice or 3 times.
No, it is. If you got them figured out.
How'd that go for what was it? Bucknell today against Navy, huh?
Well, Navy's awesome. That's different.
You can always pull out an edge case.
Bucknell sucks. So does Colgate.
Wow, I like that. Taking it right to
little
him.
Patriot League trash talk.
Let's get the futures odds up here as Conference USA Liberty, the Flames favorites +115. New Mexico State, as we just were talking about, 5-1. Middle Tennessee State 6-1. Jacksonville State 8-1. La Tech 12-1. Kennesaw State 14-1. The Hilltoppers 22-1. UTEP 25-1. Sam Houston State 60-1. Florida International 250-1. Anything stand out here? I'll pull the bracket back up for us to look at. Anything stand out here?
I like New Mexico State. I'm going to take them at 5-1. Number 1 defense in the conference. They start off in the quarterfinals. I think that's a good, and you know, I like them that first game against Kennesaw State. They're not going to have to play.
Well, Sean, don't get tricked by their artist rendition of this this bracket, because Liberty and Jacksonville State also start the quarterfinals. Oh, they're flat earthing us right now. They're flat, making the globe flat, and it just looks strange.
Look, Liberty's the best team, but one of the things about the Flaming Libs is they're going to have to play UTEP or Sam Houston State. Both those teams beat Liberty, and they play similar styles of play than Liberty. Great defensive teams. Sneaky spot there. I love the odds. Go back to the odds. Isn't Kennesaw the best odds for a team with a bye? Look at Kennesaw's odds. Give me Kennesaw.
14-1.
Okay. Yeah,
they don't really have a bye though. I mean, this is back to like basically, you know, there's a play-in round with the 7 through 10 seeds, but everyone else is starting in the quarterfinals. But yeah, I mean, all right. So you're on Kennesaw.
I think this is a really juicy. Like there's opportunity here. There's a lot of opportunity. I could see. Really? I could see
the housing market's going in the right direction.
Well, because Liberty's playing UTEP and Sam Houston, who beat them. So the 1 seed could very well go down in that matchup based on. And I think the second time Sam Houston only lost by 2. So. Yeah, I think any of these teams could win, with the exception of Florida International. I really believe the top 9 seeds could win this thing. I'll take. Give me. Go back to the bracket.
Yes, sir. On it. So let me get that up for you. Oh wait.
I'm just trying to figure out. So Kennesaw's a play. And then I will take.
He's going right against your New Mexico State, Sean.
I'm going to go.
I mean, from a value point of view, I see what he's saying, because if they're only 1.5 point dogs, New Mexico State's only 5-1. I just love New Mexico State's defense. So,
yeah,
I'm going to go Kennesaw, and I'm going to go Jacksonville State as my plays. And you know what? Throw in a Sam Houston play just for the hell of it.
Okay, so Kennesaw State Jacksonville State. Jacksonville State's 8-1.
Playing half the teams. What is this?
And then Sam Houston State 60-1.
It's good value. They beat. I mean, come on, look at what they've done before.
Taking a couple darts. I definitely don't want any part of Liberty. And you know what? I'm with Colby. Give me a sprinkle in Sam Houston State. 60-1. Let's go.
All right. So you ready for this? Give me a piece of Western Kentucky.
Okay.
A piece of La Tech.
Western Kentucky's 22-1. Louisiana Tech is 12-1.
And yeah, is that enough? Give me Kennesaw. I'll ride with Colby. Oh no, because then I would need to pair it with New Mexico. No, I'm not going to do anything crazy like that. So this is it. This is it. La Tech and Western Kentucky.
I'm on New Mexico State, Sam Houston State. Colby likes Sam Houston State, Kennesaw State, and Jacksonville State.
Best of luck with your New Mexico, though. I will be rooting for you, Sean.
Thanks.
No problem. All right. Next up, we got the Big 12, who I think we might be about to compliment. It's kind of small, but what we have here is a full 18 teams. Are there 18 or 16? 16. They figured out a way, you wouldn't believe it, to get 16 teams, Sean, into a conference tournament. Did anyone miss out from the Big 12?
No.
Colby?
No.
I mean, inclusive the Big 12 is. I thought that would have been the Big 10's job. And we're kind of, I think this was originally pioneered by the ACC, but using the traditional top 4 seeds get right into the quarterfinal model. Let's run through it. Cincy, the 13 seed, Oklahoma State, the 12 seed. Again, 2 teams that you weren't dying to back on the road all season. 9:30 a.m. We got all day basketball on Tuesday, the 11th. Cincinnati projected to be laying 5.5 out in Kansas City here by Pick Dundee. Break it down, Colby.
Well, what's interesting is they just played on March 8th. That was 2 days ago, guys. And Oklahoma State beat them by 11.
Oh dear.
Now this is neutral. That's a big swing though, making them favored by 5.5.
Yep. Give me Oklahoma State. I'm sticking to my trend.
Yeah, I'm with you. 5.5. This feels like a 1-score game. I mean, Cincinnati has a good defense, but
I can't think about
them covering by margin is a little crazy. So I'll take.
Give me Cincinnati. Give me Cincinnati.
Oh,
really?
Jesus.
Why do you like them here?
Makes sense. They've lost 3 in a row. They're due. And Oklahoma State outside of Stillwater's been ass.
Colby Martingale Dant over here. They're due. Colorado, the 16 seed. Speaking of ass, taking on TCU and Jamie Dixon's beautiful hair, the 9 seed. 2.5.
They also just played on. They also just played on March 8th, Senior Day. Colorado won by 20. Give me TCU all day.
Colorado. This is really going to test my trend.
What are you doing here, Ryan?
This is a lock. This is a lock.
The trend says Colorado.
Why? Because Colorado beat them.
Just won. Colby points out it was Senior Day. Well, end of the game. Yeah, end of the. You know what?
Well, it was in Boulder. That's a lot of elevation
you know what?
there.
No, don't care. Just gonna stay true. Give me Colorado. Complete ass team.
I'm taking.
Weird shit happens in these tournaments, and you know.
I'm with you, Kramer. I'll take Colorado. Hypno Toad is not coming out for basketball.
Although, man, Jamie Dixon does look good on the sideline. He's not quite Buzz Williams, but I used to hate the man. I'm starting to appreciate his appearance.
TCU has been cold.
4 p.m. on the West Coast. Now we're talking Forks up, Arizona State, the 15 seed, and Kansas State, the 10 seed. Again, all of these games being played in Kansas City, Missouri. Kansas State laying 1.5 according to Pick Dundee. Colby, are we taking
it might be a little bit more than 1.5 based on home crowd. I didn't know what to do with that. The numbers tell you 1.5, but they're going to have that crowd.
Yeah. I'm taking Arizona State. They beat them at Kansas State there. Forks up. I'm right.
I'll take Kansas State.
That's Arizona State. The last game they won was at Kansas State.
That's
I know they had injuries. Yeah.
What's the future of Mr. Hurley?
He's got photos, I think.
Yeah.
He's got photos of the school president on Epstein Island or something. So
I'll take Kansas State, but
he can't get
in my
fired?
heart of hearts, it's Forks up.
Yeah, we have to take Kansas State here. Something broken with that team could be the head coach, and as Colby said, he seems to have some sort of leverage over the administration. Central Florida, the 14 seed, Utah, the 11 seed. Again in Kansas City here, 6:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Utah projected to be late favorites. Is that correct?
That's what the number said.
I like how he talks about the number in the third person. What do you like here,
UCF
Colby?
beat him by 4 back on February 23rd, Kramer.
Yeah. Utah also coming off costing me money very recently costing me money. So
I was going to say though,
I'm going back to Arizona State. Late Benedict.
This guy.
What happened?
What the hell are you doing over there?
I'm leaning into the team that won that was better. And that's what happened. Arizona State beat Kansas State. So I'm going to keep riding that, and I'm going to ride UCF here. I'm
going to take Utah. Hold on. Think about this, Kramer. When Utah lost to UCF by 4 on February 23rd, that was with a different head coach.
That's valid.
Utah minus the point.
Utah had a backbreaking loss there to BYU.
They covered though.
Yeah, but that was a dream crusher game for them. They were doing very well in the first half. Let it slip away. They haven't looked good here down the stretch.
What dream was being crushed?
It's a rivalry game.
They were trying to squeeze up to the 13 seed in the conference.
1-4 last 5 games.
All right. Colby talked me into it. Give me Utah.
UCF much better.
Hey, Utes. All right. Look at this. We are crushing it. Great job, everyone. Houston, my Cougars. Love the Houston Cougars. Minus 105. Texas Tech plus 425. They're pretty good. Iowa State plus 600. The Arizona Wildcats plus 850. BYU 11-1. Kansas 13-1. Post love letter. Baylor, the Bears are 50-1. West Virginia 75-1. Kansas State, Cincinnati, both 200-1. Utah, UCF, and TCU. I'm guessing this is 250-1. Oklahoma State, Arizona State, and Colorado, or Arizona State are 300-1. Colorado somehow 500-1. If you think they're going to win the first game, should you sprinkle just in case? Probably not. I'll bring up the bracket again. Kind of hard to see, but key things to call out: Houston, Texas Tech, Arizona, and BYU obviously already in the quarterfinals. Anything stand out to you, Colby?
Yes, home advantage. I'm taking 3 shots, and the 3 teams that will have the crowd: Iowa State, Kansas, and Kansas State.
You think that's the crowd? You think
Iowa State always? Iowa State and Kansas always own this thing as far as fans. Yeah. So I think, and then K-State is just, the odds are stacked. You know, their roster, they spent a lot of money on that roster. It's been a failure so far, but they certainly have some talent. So 7,500, let's go.
Tang gang.
I'm sorry.
You're a big Tang guy.
2,000. Yeah.
I would say Kansas, this is the most perfect Kansas storybook. He writes the letter and then,
well, this could be they're probably not going to do shit in the real tournament. So he could hang his hat on them winning this conference tournament and kind of saving their season.
Yeah. I love taking a piece of Kansas here.
And in some ways I hope they don't win, but I'm going to take BYU at 11-1. They're just playing awesome basketball right now. And they're in the quarterfinals at 11-1. That is an incorrect price. Also take Kansas here. Does Kansas
would play? They have a single bye, and they're going to play the winner of UCF and Utah, and then they would go on to play Arizona, who they just beat. I'm
going to actually do BYU in Arizona.
What? You're getting rid of Kansas?
Yeah.
Wow.
I see the narrative for Kansas, but I like Arizona in a revenge spot, and I like taking 2 out of the 4 teams, one on each side that are getting into that have double buys. So give me Arizona at plus 850. Give me BYU 11-1.
And so you're ignoring Colby's intel on the Iowa State will have the crowd.
Yeah.
Do we, Colby?
I mean, maybe they will. I just BYU. Come on, these kids got nothing to do. They'll show up to Kansas.
It does seem like there's a decent population of Mormons in the Kansas City area. Give me BYU, the 4 seed.
Okay.
Give me Kansas, the 6 seed.
All right. BYU's the 5th seed, just to clarify.
What? They are?
Oh, according to our sheet, which is incorrect.
Oh, okay. Well,
according to this graphic, it's the 4 seed.
They are the 4 seed.
Odds on. Yeah.
I have no idea what happened in our Big 12. I'll have to fix the Big 12 odds after that. That was the one I left to Colby. So, all right, moving along.
Throwing him under the bus.
Right under the bus. On the bus to beautiful Las Vegas, where the WAC conference tournament is taking place. One of our favorites, I believe. This year they're playing in. I think they play every year in the Orleans. And again, we got these bracket designers with these long lines. What happened to the idea of the line just going through one day of games?
They said long lines, right?
Yeah. Oh wait, and I'm mistaken. The opening game of the tournament is actually being played out at the home of Southern Utah. Then the rest of the games will be played in Vegas. Oh, imagine you're one of those teams. You don't get to go to Vegas if you lose this game. Stakes are high. So let's just talk about it. Winner gets to go to Vegas. Utah Tech, the 9 seed, projected to be laying 1.5 against Southern Utah, the 8 seed.
So this is not in Vegas.
This is not in Vegas. There's another clerical error. This is a home game for Southern Utah. Colby?
The Burns Arena. These two schools are separated by like 2 miles. Can you research how the distance between these two schools? I believe it's incredibly short.
Yeah, got a lot of requests tonight.
Yeah, just make it happen, buddy. And
St. George, Utah.
Yeah, where Zion is. They're right there. Yeah. And I was a bit surprised when you ran the numbers that Dixie State was favored, but I mean they're 0-16 on the road this year.
This doesn't make sense. Southern Utah has 2 wins against Utah Tech in the last month.
Yeah, it's going to be one more. They're at home. They got the home crowd.
What am I missing here?
I'm on Southern Utah. Let's go.
Why are
I am too. Give me the Thunderbirds.
Why are the analytics sites making the
Utah Tech a favorite? I have no idea.
Wrong team's favorite. There's no way this is how this is going to open. All right, then we got in. There's no way this is going to happen. No way. They just beat them twice. A simple trend. Now we're in Vegas at the Orleans, the smoky Orleans. This game's on Wednesday. UT Arlington, the 7 seed. The man in the box is Grand Canyon, the 2 seed. Big number here projected 10.5. Colby, we taking Grand Canyon?
I mean, they are off a loss.
Whoa,
they are off a loss. I mean, if it wasn't off a loss, I was ready to say UTA was live. I'm still taking the points. I'm still taking the points. Give me the points. Yeah, give me the points.
They played on February 15th 7-point game. They played on February 27th 14-point game. So we split the difference. That's how they got the spread. It seems. I guess I'll take the nope. Why do I keep trying to get off the railroad track, Sean? Give me the team that's won twice in the past 2 weeks. I don't care how big the number is. Call me a donkey.
You know what? I'm actually gonna, after further examination, I'm gonna go Utah or UT Arlington here. Grand Canyon.
Okay.
Colby mentioned coming off a loss. They're actually horrible ATS off a loss. 1-5. One of the worst teams in college basketball off a loss. So I'm going Arlington. This number's too big.
It also should be noted that their best player, Tyon Grant Foster, is out undisclosed.
Who's best player?
Grand Canyons.
Shit.
Yeah.
You think he's part of the fix it? Oh, all right. And how do I
don't know. It just says undisclosed.
What's stronger, Sean? Beating a team recently or being caught up in a gambling scandal?
I think you know the answer.
Give me UT Arlington.
Wow. Kramer Benedictine. He never Benedict.
Seattle.
To a dog. This is not going to go well for
Colby. It would have been great if you let off with that information, so I didn't have to look like an asshole. Now we're heading over to Thursday. Seattle against Abilene Christian, 5-4 matchup. Seattle laying 3.5 here.
This one's easy for me. Yeah, Abilene Christensen just had their the Super Bowl. They just beat Grand Canyon in OT. They're both like very religious schools. I assume there's some sort of rivalry. Give me Seattle laying the 3.5.
I think that's a theme of this whole conference. Love God.
You're gonna eat shit on that. Seattle's terrible away from their home. They're 4-11. Abilene Christian.
Abilene Christensen?
Christian.
We're gonna get a 3-star review. Yeah, come on. 3-star review loading, Colby.
Abilene Christensen is 6-9 ATS off a win.
I'm just saying, Seattle away from home is not very good. I love Abilene here.
Abilene also 6-9 ATS on the road. Give me Seattle in the 3.5. Easy play.
Their only road wins in conference were against the Southern Utah.
It's a neutral. It's a neutral. These Abilene. You saw the episode of The Simpsons where Ned Flanders goes to Vegas for the first time. It's gonna be they're gonna be overwhelmed. They won't know with all the temptations that Sin City has to offer.
I'm with Colby.
Abilene beat New Mexico State at New Mexico State.
Yeah.
There's not as much temptation there.
It's a nice win. Seattle, not the same team away from the Red Hawk nest. I'm with Colby. Give me that strikes me as a money line play. Last one, Tarleton State, the 6 seed, Cal Baptist, the 3 seed. Again, a lot of schools that have a love of God. Cal Baptist laying 6.5. Colby.
This is a tricky one here. So Tarleton drilled Cal Baptist by 10 at home. Cal Baptist has an awesome home crowd. They lost by 20 at Cal Baptist just on March 6th. So they split in the regular season. But Baptist has been playing a lot better down the stretch, won 3 straight. But Tarleton State, they got Billy Gillespie. That's the difference. Tarleton gets it done.
I think this is just going to be a game. I mean, I think 6.5 is a hair high. I do think Cal Baptist gets the win, but 6.5 feels like too much.
Tarleton is the worst team in the country turning the ball over, but more importantly, they're the worst team in the country at non-steal turnover percentage, aka self-inflicted turnovers. No way I'm on that. Give me Cal Baptist. And then for the conclusion of this show, we will preview the fabulous futures of the WAC, Utah Valley, the Wolverines. A little out of order here. What Utah Valley plus 240, Grand Canyon plus 130. Interesting favorites. Seattle plus 500, Cal Baptist 6-1, Abilene Christian, interesting, 19-1. The Mavericks of UT Arlington, great.
Are they 30-1 or 80-1? Because on our sheet it says
UT Arlington.
Oh, you're right.
30-1.
Okay.
Tarleton 80-1. Dixie State 8.
So wait, is the graphic right or is our spreadsheet right?
The graphic is always right.
Okay.
Talk to Colby about the spreadsheet. Dixie State 180-1 and Southern Utah. I like the Dixie State. Southern Utah 300-1. All right. So Colby, what did Colby screw up? Which odds?
Well, I think he mixed up Southern Utah and Dixie State, and then UT Arlington, Tarleton State are mixed up.
Okay. So Southern Utah, Colby, is Southern Utah 300-1?
Yes,
that would make sense. There's some value there. The difference between so when did they change to Utah Tech?
Never heard of them.
That's a pretty aggressive change from Dixie State to Utah Tech.
Well, also why would they call themselves Dixie State if they're in Utah? Right? I mean, what? So wait, they got rid of Dixie because it's like Dixie Chicks or whatever, like the whatever sort of like weird that they were pro South. Is that why they got rid of it, Colby?
I have no idea. It's Utah. I don't look into a lot of the things that happen in Utah. But Dixie State is what we call them on our show. Yeah,
They changed their name in 2022 because the term Dixie had negative connotations.
Yeah, but you're not even the South. Why would you call it Dixie for the first place?
It invokes images of the Confederacy and white supremacy. The name change process began shockingly during the pandemic in 2020. Yeah. They're now named Utah Polytechnic State University. Wow. All right. We learned a lot. But to your point, why were they named that in the first place? Great question, Sean.
Yeah.
Don't have that answer.
Not whistling Dixie in Utah. What the hell?
Well, maybe you are. Maybe we don't know much about Utah. What futures you snagging here? I'll put the bracket back up. Now, basically, to not get confused, everyone's in the quarterfinals except for the Southern Utah Tech game. And they got the long lines, so make sure no one makes any mistakes there. So Grand Canyon's the favorite. Utah Valley, the 1 seed, not the favorite. Are we going chalk here, Colby? Or are we going down the board a little bit?
I haven't been that impressed with Grand Canyon this year. Now, I will say, to Matola's point, they do have the crowd edge in Vegas there. I'll take, yeah, but I'll take Utah Valley. I think Utah Valley could be, especially with that suspension. We don't even know what the hell is going on with that thing. I have no idea if he's playing in this tournament or not. They're leading scorer, a guy on the NBA radar. So, I have no idea in that regard.
Yeah, I'm with Colby. I think any sort of fade of Grand Canyon, I think I'm fine with. It just doesn't seem like they should be plus 130. So UT Valley at plus 240. And am I crazy to like UT Arlington at 30-1, Colby? You can say yes.
Well, because they're yeah. I mean, they're not bad. Yeah. They just voted to bring back football, so I mean that's they're winning me over there. Right. But
they got some decent wins in conference. I'll take a little sprinkle there on UT Arlington, 30-1.
I'm still on the Dixie State situation. Actually, right down the street in the same city is a university called Dixie Technical College that has not changed their name. That's got to be awkward.
Awkward.
Yeah, we'll have to look at the tie between Dixie and that part of Utah. Interesting. All right, so you guys or Sean, Colby. So what are you going with?
I'm gonna go Valley, and then let's take a shot on. So wait, if that guy is out, right? If Grant Foster's out, that kind of opens up the board down there. Just give me Abilene and Valley are my plays.
So Utah Valley and then Abilene Christian at 6-1.
Is everything all right, Sean? You got a little case of UTGV over there?
No, that's the Rio Grande school. That is not Utah Valley. But for me, UTV.
I got a horrible case of UTV.
Plus 240 and UTA. I got a UTA and a UTA at 30-1. Kramer, what do you do?
Really stick a tube up your dick? Fuck.
You gotta drink a lot of cranberry.
Oh man. Man. So would it be stupid to not take the one? Give me Abilene Christian and give me Cal Baptist.
ABC 6-1 and Cal Baptist 5-1. Hey, thank you everyone tuning in. Check out get in on the what are you laughing at?
Oh, it's just a great let's get this fucking show over. Let's get out of here before we get our ass kicked twice in one night. 2 hours and 15 minutes.
The data would suggest that people are staying to the end.
They love it. They're sickos, and I appreciate it. Shout out to the college experience.
Yes.
Very
You know I'm a degenerate.
some DGen only over there, dominating in the chat. Everyone's loving it. Use the promo code Madness, 20% off everything in the store from now until when the old tournament tips off. Hang out with us at the Rhythm Party, and also the SGPN Madness, $2,000 we're giving out for free in the bracket contest. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bracket. Sign up over there. Yes, Colby.
Drinks on me at that party, guys.
Yes, drinks are on Colby and Rhythm, but mostly Colby. Colby's going to go out of his way to be like, "Hey guys, this one's on me." It's a great move at a open bar. Nah, this one's
the city of St. George has the nickname Dixie because many of the settlers who established that area came from the South.
Still a dumb name.
Interesting. It's painted on the mountains.
All right. Well, there you go. Shout out to Matty J in the chat. Love him. I saw Weehawk in here. Go Beeves. Bunch of great guys. Japan, of course. Dirty Krusty asking for the blackjack. We'll bring back some blackjack once we got to get to the start of the tournament.
Yeah,
things cool off, and then we'll get some.
You know I'm a degenerate.
Some DGen action.
Come on, guys. You don't want to hear about college basketball?
Oh, I do.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second Bloody Green. He's Ryan.
Really rooting for my Abilene Christensen future.
Kramer, let it ride.